Dave, you're in the middle of the screen for me.
Oh man, okay.
I'm the big deal. This is my first podcast since I broke 100K.
Oh, man.
I was partying last
Oh,
weekend.
yeah, that's right. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to SpawnCast. This is episode, I'm going to go with 63. Evan's not here to correct me, so I'm not wrong. But we have a lot to get into because we got to talk about E3. I did set up a different layout, guys, so we have hopefully the chat will show up. Remember we did this, guys, during the live stream for E3 where the chat would always take a minute to show up and I had to play around with it and everything. So it should eventually show up if I keep hitting this refresh cache of current page button. So I'll play around with that. But the chat will eventually show up and you'll have notifications hopefully on screen and everything. That should all be good. So, but yeah, so we got new setup, guys, new setup. It's small because Discord doesn't let you edit anything. That's just the way it is, I guess. But, of course, you can still all see us all at once and it doesn't jump around. I have the screen there that I'm going to try to play around with footage, so hopefully it'll be a little more interesting to watch. But you can still listen to it, obviously, on SoundCloud. Anyway, let me go around here. We got a couple of reasons we have some people on here, specifically Dave, because Dave has actually played, SuperMetalDave, he's actually played quite a few of the games that we're going to talk about from Nintendo. Yeah. So, Dave, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great. Had a great time at E3. Really nice seeing a bunch of people there, and I saw Nintendo Prime, met him and a few other guys. It was pretty fun. Smash Brothers is really cool.
How
I like it.
How packed was it there?
Very packed. Extremely packed. It was really good. Compared to last year, though, they did a very much better job in the line control because everything was very organized. They put everyone basically in the back of the booths and everything, so you could have them line up in kind of like the parking lot area, kind of like enclosed.
Jeez.
And but it was all very well organized. In 2017, with Mario Odyssey and the games they had there, it was very it was like first come first serve, just kind of pack around and like a bunch of rats basically around these games. But for this year, it was really well organized, well done. Very
nice.
Good, very good job. And Sony's booth was extremely packed, basically all for Spider-Man. It was like impossible to get in line for that game. It was crazy.
Cool. All right, very good. Then we have OJ, PlayerEssence. How you doing, man? You're basically like a regular now at this point, man. We might as well call it.
Yeah, I'm wondering when I'm going to get my regular invite. Why don't I get to be a regular?
We might as well just make OJ a regular at this point.
No, I'm joking. You can slap me anytime you want. No, I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing really good. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, it's always a good time, and I figure we gotta get some people in here for E3 because there's a lot of stuff to go over. So I think we're mostly gonna. I was thinking more about going over the big three and then maybe touch on some of the smaller ones when we have some time because the big three are gonna take up some time. So and of course we're gonna be asking Dave some questions about how things like Smash and Starlink and Mario Tennis and stuff plays. So this is gonna be good. And then we have Sean busy fighting the good fight against Atari. How you doing, Sean?
Doing good with my fake news channel.
Fake news bastard. I can say that right now.
I can't. I literally, in all of my time, I never thought that something like this would happen. I'm glad it happened because it made for a hell of a video reply. Like literally, that was the worst thing I could have done was piss me off. But yeah, dude, I'm doing great, man. E3 was an absolute blast. I think all of us got crazy good views and crazy good subs that were covering the stuff. So, tiring. And then, this upcoming weekend is too many games. Super forward looking to that.
I still get my ticket for that, actually.
Yeah, you need to get on the ball with that, sir.
Yeah, I do. Then we got Max, Dreamcastguy. He's the big guy in the middle here. How's it going, Max?
I am everything. Yeah, that was good E3, man. Man. I feel like the stuff I was expecting to surprise me the least surprised me the most. Xbox killed it, PlayStation 4 killed it, and Nintendo killed it. It was good all around.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So listen, I guess we'll jump into what we've been playing this week before we get into E3 here. What we've been playing.
Fortnite, Switch, a bunch.
Yeah.
Fortnite, Paladins, and then Fortnite, and then Paladins, and then Fortnite, and then Fortnite.
Paladins is really good.
It is good.
It's super good.
I'm surprised you guys hadn't played it before Switch?
Never even heard about it.
Oh wow! Actually, I played it. I played it, I think, a year and a half ago on PC or a year ago. I actually played it quite a bit on the PC for a while, and that was I just kind of fell out of it after that. But when I heard about it on the Switch and it's 60 frames per second, I was like, ooh, let's check that out. So that was really cool to see that.
Yeah, I played it a bunch on the Xbox One. like last fall, I had a girl that I was seeing who used to play it a lot, and she wanted to play it with me. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And I became strangely addicted to it. But then, you know, time went on. I moved on to other things. But it's just like, you know, laying in bed, you're like half asleep. You look over, you see the Switch over there. It's like, oh, I'll play around a Fortnite. I'll play around a Paladins. And the next thing you know, it's 6 in the morning.
Yeah, dude, it's easier to play as a handheld. It really is.
Fortnite is cracking me up because people are garbage at it, man. I mean, I kill like 12 people around. What I was doing the other day is I did a test stream, and I was just trying to do a new setup so I could be as cool as like OJ and stream every day. And so I was setting up, and I just started pulling in random people from chat. Were like being like, pull me in. So I just got like a whole squad of like fans in there, and we were just mowing down 20 players on the map and stuff. I was like, oh man, these people don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't like Fortnite at all. But
Shut up.
but I figured I need to get better at it. Also, Sean Wishbone says you got to watch out because the Spartan console might come after you next.
I know,
technically,
right?
They already did. They already mentioned a lot of the people who talked about it.
Yeah, they did.
They told us we should go fly fishing or something to relax.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
and then they deleted that off their blog post.
Yeah, right.
But they did take my advice and make it open at least. I don't even know if that's still around, but they at least changed it to where it was open, or it was open. I told them they should close it. Atari Box still doing that though. But I figured I need to at least get somewhat competent at Fortnite because I know everyone's gonna want to play it. So I'm like, all right, well, if we have like a game night or something, I at least need to be competent at this game.
What you should do is either play in a squad or play the 50 versus 50 mode to sort of learn like mechanics and stuff like that. The 50 versus 50 mode is crazy fun, like, because it's literally like everyone's on one side, everyone's on the other side, and then you just like meet in the middle and like, ah!
It feels weird to hear people talk about this. I've been playing this game for almost a year, and watching it, like, I feel like now that it's coming on Switch, it's had this whole second giant like renaissance coming on. It's crazy.
That's because everyone's trying to play it again, including the PlayStation people who can't play it now.
Yeah, no, man, I'm still pissed about that. I refuse to buy the Battle Pass again. I've already bought a Battle Pass. I'm not buying it again.
I will say I have when I play it on my monitor, I go to the Xbox One X and then I just go to the Switch, and I've signed into both, so now it just works on both like without any issue. So I usually play handheld on the Switch, and then if I'm gonna play like while sitting here, I just get on the Xbox One X because it's like 4K 60 or whatever it is. The Switch, it runs well for what it is. It's definitely better, I think, to play in handheld mode, to be honest, because when I blow it up on my screen, you can tell it's a little blurry.
I still feel like I snipe so much better on console when it's like on my TV. I think the only problem I have is for some reason that game on Switch is super quiet, and even when I'm playing on a handheld, I end up turning the volume all the way up so I can hear footsteps, and I still have to play with headphones.
Evan said that when I was talking to him, because we played a little bit earlier through crossplay with this. I think he was playing on Switch and I was playing the Xbox. He said that when I was talking, it actually sounded better. So I think they have some work to do with the Switch's voice chat. But I honestly think we're just so all amazed that it works in the first place. We don't really care that much right now.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Fortnite, when it debuted, because I've been playing Fortnite. I played it on the PS4. I played it on the Xbox One, a good bit, probably 20 hours plus on each system. When Fortnite first debuted on the PS4 and the Xbox One, it had issues. It only ran at 30 frames. Epic's been constantly updating that game. So the fact that you've already gotten like 2 updates on the Switch version already, like, it's just going to get better from here.
They update every week, I think, don't they? Or maybe a couple times a week sometimes. So
well, they every Monday night they roll up a giant update across all consoles where they tweak stuff. Sometimes they remove broken weapons. They call it putting it in the vault. Like that, they keep taking the jetpacks out, putting them in, putting them out, taking them in. It's like, oh, we don't know how to do this.
We need to, they need to fix a couple things. But honestly, I think it's a good little start for the system, minus the whole PlayStation debacle. That's obviously Sony's issue to deal with. Did anyone play like Hollow Knight or anything?
I wanted to. I bought it.
Oh, dude, that game is sweet. I played it on the PC on Steam. I love that game. It's 60 frames per second on the Switch too.
I really need to play. I need to stream it. So I'm thinking just finding enough time that I'm going to stream it.
It's awesome.
Fortnite. Fortnite's been taking up some good time, and then Paladins. I actually played Fortnite with my community on my PC first. So I put a good number of hours, but I still suck. But the 50 versus 50 is a good way. Good way to learn. Like, I actually was getting kills this time. Like I was like, okay, I'm actually getting some kills in the 50 versus 50. We played today for P Arena, so it was cool. It was cool, kind of playing and getting into it this time.
The last tip before we move on, because I'm sure a bunch of people in chat are probably downloading Fortnite and trying it for the first time this week. land on the outer edges of the map and work your way in. Almost everybody loves to land close to the center and get a bunch of kills. If you land away from the landmarks, you have more time to get shields and get guns and just mow everybody down later games. So
probably by the time you get to the middle anyway, half of everybody be gone anyway.
Yeah. So that's always my thing. Is like, if you're new at it, don't be afraid to like kind of sit on the edge and go slower.
I think people get worried because they're worried they're going to get caught in the storm or something.
Yeah,
is why they do that. But yeah, you're right. It's better if you land on the outside and you kind of work in. I think it's better too. You're right. When I noticed you and Evan were doing that a lot.
We would choose like the biggest landmark that was away from the center. So we'd go like to Retail Row or something, hit every single store by ourselves, and then walk in like, hey guys, who wants to get fucked up?
Yes, that's good stuff. Yeah, Hollow Knight, I was playing that. I did Paladins because I got that early, I think, so I checked it out, and runs well, 60 frames per second. I was honestly a little surprised when I heard that. Yeah, it runs well. I think it's 720p, I think.
Yeah.
But it in handheld mode, I think it works really well. Like, it looks actually fairly good in there. But yeah, it's a fun game. Paladins is. And unfortunately, I forgot, you don't play actual people until level 5.
Yeah.
So a lot of us, I'm sure, played it. We were like, oh man, that's right. I'm really good at this. And it's like you're fighting bots that just run in circles mostly.
Stop picking Victor, people. Victor is my character.
Have you tried Cassie?
Yeah, I didn't like her as much.
Really? I don't have a problem with her. She does a lot of damage when she hits somebody with her bow.
I love Victor's super attack as well.
Okay.
Like I can wipe out like the other team and like at least 3 of them with the super attack. So
I have a feeling a lot of people are probably playing Fortnite while they're listening right now. So that's good. That's good. That's usually what I'll do. If I'm playing Fortnite and it's like just one, I'll usually just listen to YouTube or something while I'm playing.
Right? I love doing that though. Yeah.
But it still can't pull me off of Halo. So I won't tell you. I probably Halo Infinite is the only thing that'll pull me off there. Hopefully. Or Master Chief Collection. If Master Chief Collection comes back and it's good, we'll play that. Because I think it's going to Game Pass anyway. So I think that's going to be it.
Did you see, I saw an interview with Major Nelson, and they were talking to him on the couch at the very, very, very end of E3. And he was actually carrying a Switch. And they're like, oh, what are you excited about Switch? And he was like, oh, man, I loved some Super Smash Brothers there. And they're, what's the dream character you want? And he straight up said, you can find the clip where he said, like, I'd love to see Master Chief. He goes, let's get Master Chief and Smash Brothers. And I'm
right.
Oh, yeah, man, I'd love to see that.
Maybe it's coming. You never know.
Yeah. That's not happening.
Well, but it's funny. I mean, that guy could make it happen. That's why I like the fact that he would even say that is hilarious.
That's funny.
Well, let's see if he can speak Japanese first. That's what he needs to do, is learn Japanese if he wants to talk to Sakurai, because he's already back in Japan.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, he's probably back working already.
He said he left at midnight.
Jeez.
He left at midnight to go, probably first class, to go back to Japan and work on the game. He said it at the Invitational.
Wow.
So he left that day on the Invitational. He left on playing midnight to go back to Japan to work on the game in the morning.
That's crazy.
Like, get me out of this country. Get me back to Japan.
That'd be pretty cool if they had Master Chief versus Fox McCloud.
Yeah, man, I'd love that. Or I just want to see him fucking go
versus
toe-to-toe with Samus. Yeah, exactly. Go toe-to-toe with Samus.
Did you hear that apparently next year it's probably going to be the last year that E3 is is in LA, I guess? The convention
Where are
center.
they moving it to?
Yeah. Where are they going to move it?
One of the I've seen a lot of people. I saw Pactor talk about it too, for where he would like it, and I was like, I could. Apparently, they need the place wherever they're having it. Was it the LA? Is that LA Convention Center or something?
Yeah,
OJ?
LA Conventions. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it needs to be either upgraded to meet what they need is what they were saying, or they're moving it somewhere. The word is it might be Las Vegas, which would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
I'd like that person. I can drive to Las Vegas. That's so close to Texas. I mean, it's a long drive, but
that's where I hear like Pactor wants it. It was like, I think it'd work well at Las Vegas. And I heard somebody else talk about that too. So I hear multiple people talking about Las Vegas, and I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. But they'd have to work out a deal and everything about that. It sounds like they're just not happy with the LA Convention Center. For I guess I don't know. I didn't go. So Dave, maybe was there like something or an issue there, right? Like this year or something that you would like?
No, not that I noticed. It was actually better than last year.
Okay.
So last year was kind of bad. I didn't really like the atmosphere. It was way too crowded. This year was a lot better.
Maybe there's something in the back, like in the background, we don't know about. Whether it's like I don't know, just accommodating the people who go there and have the panels, or like the companies or something.
Like renting out the area.
It could be a financial problem. Yeah.
Well, and also, so I go to a lot of conventions. I go to about 10 to 15 conventions a year, and I am friends with a lot of people who run conventions. And something a lot of people don't talk about is wear and tear on the convention center. Like, they make a lot of money renting that building out, but I've literally seen people purposely break elevators, smash light bulbs while they're drunk in every hallway they can. Like, stuff like that ends up costing them a couple extra hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I think maybe the E3 community crowd is just a little too rowdy. Who knows?
That's a good point. I did smell some vodka on people when I walked by them there.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
man.
So,
I was like, what's going on?
so that's totally going to be fixed in Las Vegas now, because everything just runs so smoothly there.
But no,
That'd be
but
worse there, yeah.
Like, Las Vegas is
Probably
built.
had strippers there.
Yo, Kitsune84 dropped $10 in and said, which thank you, said, did you hear that a mysterious countdown has appeared only on Nintendo Switch Fortnite?
Probably an update coming.
I did not hear about that.
Oh, there's a
it's
countdown, yeah.
it's on the TV screens in the game.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
What's that? That's weird. Okay. It ends on Tuesday.
Dude.
Huh. Maybe something exclusive to the Switch?
If that happens, I'll have to eat my hat, because remember I specifically told you guys I don't think we'll ever see anything Mario related. So if
Give
it's
me the
something
Mario hat.
Oh,
I think that's
I specifically said
Could
I
happen.
can't picture them putting Mario hats on people holding machine guns. So if they do that, I'm dead wrong.
I mean, and back to them moving E3. You know, I'm sure those crowds are rowdy, but they're nothing like a retro gaming after party crowd. Those, my friend,
Dude,
those are the worst.
Anime convention, not to get grab. Anime conventions have fucking orgies, man. You gotta. I'm sure that's the worst to fucking clean up. You have to burn the sheets.
Oh, gosh.
I guess you're going to the right place then, Las Vegas.
What anime conventions are you talking about? My
Okay,
God?
come on down to Dallas. Come on down to Dallas. I'll point
Which
you out.
ones? All right.
I'll give you the laundry list.
Not that I want to go. I just want to know which one.
That's where I found my awesome girlfriend. Not in an orgy, but one of those.
Loud and
Like
clear.
the lady? No.
So there you go, guys. See the screen changes too. See, there's your Fortnite countdown on the screen. Yeah. So, do we want to get into some of the conferences here, because obviously a lot of them happened. I guess we could start with Nintendo, since Dave is here with us and can fill us in on some of it. Smash was the biggest thing they talked about. I mean, it was like what, 25 minutes or so.
Mhm.
Was it somebody timed it out? It was like 18 minutes or something.
Okay. About
20, at least 20.
So about,
right?
yeah, right around 20. We'll say 20, 25, somewhere in there. So that's what we're seeing, and everyone got to play it that went to E3. I think, right, Dave? Everyone pretty much lined up.
Yeah.
Yep. You
Or
reserved
whether
your
you
spot.
reserve a ticket or not, you could play it. It was no problem for anybody. They
Okay.
did a really good job. Excellent job.
Okay. That's good. Oh, here's a good question for. Oh, that went the complete opposite direction than I thought. I thought this one was going to be for OJ. Because they ask about a guest character, and I obviously thought, oh, they're asking about a Smash guest character. It's from Young Z11. Since Nier Automata was announced on Xbox One, do you think it's a chance we might see the main character 2B as a guest character in Soul Calibur 6? Love the channels, keep it the great work. See, I thought he was going to say in Smash, and I was like, I don't know why she'd be in Smash, but I didn't even think of Soul Calibur 6. I don't know. I guess it could happen.
I don't think she's popular
Yeah.
enough for it to
I don't
be-
think
Nier
anyone would
Automata
notice,
character?
right? What's that?
The Nier Automata girl? Is that
Yeah.
her? Okay.
2B. Yeah, I mean, I guess she, like, the way she looks, she would kind of fit in, but I don't think anyone would really be like, oh, 2B. Although it has sold 3 million copies, I gotta at least give them that credit.
Yeah, it sold well, but I mean, they got Geralt in there.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
and then before that, they had freaking Yoda. You know what I'm saying? And like, so I mean, they go big time with. And then there was Link. There was Spawn.
Link.
Link was
You know?
awesome. Oh man, that was so cool. That was so cool.
The most least known character that they've had, guest character, is like Hayachi or whatever his name is, and he's still like
Mishima.
back then he was like still. I mean, Tekken was huge back then, you know. So Tekken was a lot more popular. So I mean, I don't know if 2B would be on their
Sakon
list.
says I'll take Fatal Frame 1 and 2 remakes over Remake 2. I don't know, man. Remake 2 is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Dude.
Remake 2 was my game of the show.
Like, he said
It wasn't mine, but I'll say-
Resident Evil.
He went,
Yeah.
they went Fatal Frame 1 and 2 over Remake 2, Resident Evil Remake 2.
I
Or Resident Evil
I
Remake.
don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that, dude.
I'm obsessed with Resident Evil, man. Obviously, you can see I got my Resident Evil posters. I have my Resident Evil comics, my Resident Evil books. It's one of I want that RE2 remake so bad. I talked to some of the Capcom sources I have to see if we're gonna get that demo they had at E3 on consoles soon. They haven't gotten back to me yet, but I want to play that
That'd be
demo
sweet.
so bad.
So Nintendo's conference was a lot of Smash. Ridley is a guest character now, surprisingly.
Who said Ridley was going to be there? I wonder who was saying that. Oh my gosh, that was a surprise.
I take it you heard a bit about that, OJ?
I don't know. No. I just took a good guess beforehand.
Because he was a long running meme, right, in the community. That was the idea, right?
Yeah, but I'm almost positive that Etika is the one that got Ridley in Smash. I'm almost 100% positive him and his viewers got Ridley in Smash.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. Yes. Honestly, because Sakurai saw the video that Etika did, which was viewed a lot, and his fans made a huge push for Ridley, like talk about why Ridley should be in there. But yeah, Sakurai actually acknowledged Etika's video that he made on Ridley being in Smash.
That's pretty cool.
Is insane. And Sakurai never says anything about anything.
What did he just mentioned it? He was like, I saw that video.
Yeah, he just said I've mentioned it. He just said passing by that he's mentioned it. And then Etika made a video that Sakurai mentioned him. So Etika actually made a video responding. But that was a while ago. But I honestly think that was part of him and his fans just kind of drove that home. Like because like Sakurai even said like Ridley was a big request for overseas fans. It wasn't because Japanese fans were asking for Ridley.
I mean, it was a lot. I remember people would always talk about that. And he said he was too big to put in there, but I guess he figured it out.
Well, they made him work pretty well.
But he's tiny though. He's like Ridley's. He's like a little tiny baby Ridley.
Yeah, I like it. Like they definitely handled it well. I think they scaled him exactly right, and I like the fact that in the teaser he looks giant, and then he drops onto the arena, and he looks giant, and then it zooms out. It's like, oh, he's on this little tiny part of the Poke Arena. He's not the whole field. They did that.
I was playing against two Ridleys when I played the game as Mario, and so I didn't feel disadvantaged at all against him. It seemed pretty fair.
Okay. Who did you play as when you went, Dave?
I was Mario because I wanted to see like the most balanced character because of the changes they made to the gameplay. I figured if I picked Ridley, I wouldn't get a very good idea. Like maybe he's so different, So since my time was limited with the game, I chose Mario as the most balanced, and I could tell right away there was some differences on how the control is compared to the Wii U game.
Okay. Did it feel faster or?
Yeah, the characters felt a little lighter and faster. Mario seemed to fall, or your character seemed to fall a little faster and recover faster. Probably closer to the Melee, I would say. I don't want to say Melee exactly, but it seemed a lot faster. So I think competitive players would really like it.
Dude,
there you go. That's OJ right there. There you go.
I'm really excited about the changes that they've made. Super excited. The knockback. I like how fast like people get knocked back. I like how in one-on-ones there's more damage than in multiplayer. So basically, you can speed up the pace. Because that was one of the knocks on the Wii U games that it took too long. There's a lot of great mechanics changes. Aerial, like the slip dodges in the air, you can actually maneuver those, but there's more landing lag. Great stuff in terms of what they've done with some of the changes in the game. So also some of the other things like in terms of like dash dancing, stuff like that has been refined and good. I mean, just a little bit more advanced things, but it's fantastic. I'm really excited to compete.
Yeah,
in the LA area.
It feels like Smash right away. Like if you know how to play Smash, it feels just like that. It just feels refined and it feels improved, feels faster, more responsive. It's just better basically. And obviously, I didn't get to play it very, very long, but you could tell right away that it was different from the Wii U game. You can kind of think of it like a Street Fighter 2, and then you go from that to Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. It's a totally different game. Maybe they reuse some of the same sprites, that kind of thing, but it's a totally different feel. So it's you can kind of think of it kind of like that for people who are thinking it's just the same game. It's not.
Max, what were you were trying to get there? Max, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say like the technical aspect. I've played a lot of stuff, a lot of Smash Brothers against my friends who are more tournament people. But just on the casual side, I'm so hyped for everything I've read and seen about the Inklings. Like holy crap, the fact that they actually have this finite amount of ink, and the more they get on a particular player, they'll actually take additional damage. So you end up having this like separate meter that only you have to worry about for trying to like maximize your damage in the ring. Like that's a meta I never would have considered in a fighter. I'm so excited to try that out.
Yeah, it seems very, very specific for that character too. It seems like there's a lot of detail in this game.
They have very particular things for certain characters. Like Cloud is like the only character that can do like limit, like to where like he can charge up and like and in the game beforehand, you basically got limit, and then you can call like limit camp. You can just keep your limit, you can keep all the buffs and benefits of having it, and Cloud can kill you very quickly with this limit. Now, what they did with this game is that they actually made it to where it's a timer. He runs out of it. Okay. So that is a huge like problem. But I'm thinking they're gonna balance that in other ways. Because that was basically the thing with Cloud is that you get limit and like you put fear in people because you have that limit, like cross slash, blade beam, finishing touch can kill you like almost nothing, So it's gonna be interesting to see how they balance that out in terms of his normals and everything like that. But you can just see that a lot of the differences makes a huge difference in competitive play. Heck, even if you're just playing with your friends, not being able to limit camp because he's heavier, he can recover better because Cloud's recovery is trash. So if you run out of that limit while you're off stage, you're kind of screwed.
Were you guys surprised to see all the characters back in here? Like everyone?
Yeah. As a casual player, like who I just play it for fun. I don't understand the tech and all that bullshit. It's not Street Fighter, But as a casual player, like the biggest things I took away, and I did feel that they went on too much about it just because I personally don't care that much about Smash. It's not one of my favorite games of all time, but I know there's tons of people out there that do love the game. But definitely seeing all the characters, and the little visual cues, like the limit for Cloud and stuff. I loved all the little visual cues that they included in this version of the game. That was the biggest takeaway for me, is just all of the attention to detail about things and just how good the game looks. I mean, that game's going to look freaking awesome.
Like visually, I think it looks pretty good. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, this, I feel like it looks better than the Wii U version by a significant amount in terms of shadows and everything.
Shaders, lighting,
all that's improved.
I feel like it's most obvious with the fact when they showed all three of the links drop on at once side by side. I feel like you really got to see sort of the different generation of graphics all being in this new render system. And like you can see cloth, you can see individual cloth on it. It's nuts.
And like facial animations too, where they showed like Donkey Kong had like 6 or 7 different facial animations depending on situations and stuff like that. Like just crazy stuff. Little attentions to detail. That'll make
I noticed people pointing stuff out. They were like, there's 65 characters right now, right? There'll probably be, I think, at least 1 or 2 more announced before the game comes out. And people were talking about, they said that means Sakurai had to develop and program and design, along with obviously team, but they had to design 64 hats for Kirby then.
Yeah.
And 64 abilities for Kirby.
All the different abilities for Kirby.
Isn't that crazy? Like, you really start to think about it, you're like, oh man, that's a lot.
There was also like with the facial animations thing, like when you suck in like Nana and Popo, like the other one, the one in the pink, she's like, oh my god, he's getting sucked in. Like you can see her facial animation.
Somebody did a GIF of that, and it's so good. And it said, when you've been waiting to come back into Smash, and somebody immediately eats your sister, and it shows her getting sucked in, and it zooms on his face, going like, no.
It's like terrifying that you're getting eaten there. So I thought that was I thought the attention to detail is good. I like it.
So I assume everyone's here on this panel is probably getting it then.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, everyone's probably getting it. All right,
even if you're a casual player, you should buy the game. I think it's really fun.
It seems like a very packed $60 purchase, right? I mean, there's a lot of content there.
Well, dude, this thing, as somebody who goes to a bunch of conventions, I'm so hyped out of my mind to just sit down in lines and get to play with random people, because I feel like this is going to be the new community game that everybody has a main. Like you can literally sit down and it's everybody like, oh, I don't really play. Oh, but I also main Samus. It's like, oh, I like it.
It is pretty cool because then, I mean, this is the best version of Smash Bros. And it's portable, so that's really neat.
The ultimate version.
Yeah. I mean, that's really cool.
I made that joke in my video too, and I immediately felt like, oh, I'm gonna get roasted in the comments.
I'm just glad Wolf is back. My boy's back from
720p 60 handheld, 1080p 60 and docked. So
and Snake is back, so I get to fight.
That was cool to see Snake come back. I was like, oh, that's neat. Konami did something right.
And my Pokemon trainer's back, so I use Pokemon Trainer too, and he's better. You can switch him out at any point. There's no lag or cooldown or anything. I'm so happy.
Were you surprised there's no story or single player that we've seen so far? I mean, I guess they could still technically reveal one, because they talked about the build being. I mean, it was Bill Trinan, right? He talked about how the build was specific for E3 because they didn't want to show everything. I mean, is it possible that there's a single player still?
I'm expecting it. I'm thinking there's going to be
maybe Smash Run from the 3DS game.
Which would be perfect.
I don't know.
I loved Smash Run. That was one of my favorite things about the 3DS. You like how my chair is talking to you and not me?
I mean, assume you're pooping. It's not going to be right now.
I mean, that becomes. I mean, if they put that in there too, then it's an even more packed $60 purchase. That might be one of the best purchases of the year. Then, just for the sheer amount of content in that game and polish.
I think they're gonna do a single player because it's Smash Brothers Ultimate. You know what I'm saying? Like they've had it before.
You know, I didn't even think of that actually. Yeah,
players, this is the ultimate Smash Brothers game. Subspace Emissary, that is very split in people's minds, but I think people rather have it than not have it, you know? So,
it might be Sakurai's last Smash Bros then, right?
It might be.
Yeah, he might move on and have I guess the team that maybe he's been training, or he has to have, you'd assume he'd have some kind of apprentice or something working with him right now.
Protege or something?
Yeah, that he leaves the whole thing with, so.
Smash Padawan.
Good. Tell him to go make Kid Icarus Uprising 2 for the Switch. Leave Smash behind and make Kid Icarus Uprising 2.
I mean, he's probably set pretty well, I'd assume, by now. So maybe he just, I don't know, just rides off into the sunset, looking like he's 20 every time I see him.
And I was gonna say,
So young.
he always looks like just slightly like serious, like a really serious guy at a party, like happy but very serious. I had a picture, even on a horse, he's just like, "Goodbye, my friends."
Oh man,
backwards.
Yes, real men ride horses backwards. I do a Red Bull.
There was Old Spice commercial.
There was a lot of other stuff at their direct. There was like they had Dragon Ball FighterZ, Hollow Knight, Fortnite, and then another game that I am really excited for. This game, it's Daemon X Machina.
That game looks
that's
so
cool.
damn good.
I am
amazing.
really excited for that game. And I think it's mostly just because I'm a big mech fan with like Armored Core and stuff like that. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, I'm in for this. Absolutely. Yeah. But they showed us that. They also did some Treehouse stuff. So if you missed that, they actually did a lot of gameplay they're seeing here in the Treehouse. And after I saw the gameplay, I started to realize that it absolutely has Armored Core feels to it. But then it also kind of had some Zone of the Enders feels. I mean, the mechs looked kind of familiar, and I was trying to figure out why. And then I looked at the team behind it. They have a star-studded team working on this game. It is insanely impressive. Like, the person designing the mechs is the person who did, like, the Macross series. Mm-hmm. They have Armored Core producer, and they have a lot of people working on this game right now.
Fire Emblem, too. Like, the character designer from Fire Emblem Fates, Awakening, Echoes. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
I gotta say that Fire Emblem tease, as short as it was, cranked my hype up. It's one of those things where when we had a title card, like honestly, I had no hype for it because it was one of those things where I had to see it. I had to make sure it's still gonna be sweet, classic, turn-based, grind your face into it awesomeness, and it is. So man, that's a huge day one buy for me.
I had a little mini meltdown when that's true.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem's my favorite. Was my favorite Nintendo friend. Well, Smash and Fire Emblem my favorites, and Xenoblade. Those three. I
feel like to me they're not even my favorite. They're just like this side thing that, because I feel like I've beaten a bunch of them, but they just come so infrequently. They never build up my hype that much. So like it's just one of those things where when they're around, I love them. When they're gone, I don't think about them. But seeing the next one on the horizon, it's like, oh yes, like this is what they do.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Yeah,
I was really excited how you can actually have like the troops there, and they can give you support abilities. So it's like a larger scale battle because like every person brings in like a troops with them. So that's cool.
That's what I was going to ask you, because that was the one thing that was in the trailer that confused me in a good way, which is that it sort of looked like there was some sort of like exclusive squad mode, because there was a part where we saw armies literally moving on a field and no like lieutenants or anything. Do you think that's something that was going to be?
Each person in the game, each like main character can have like a special support group with them, like based on their class. That's how
like it's like a group of like minions that
that will give you.
I remember you could like glue two heroes together, but I don't remember that. That's awesome.
Yeah. This is completely new. This is the first time that they've done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you disappointed to see that game fall to 2019?
I was, definitely. That was my big disappointment, was the fact that it was in 2019. I thought it was going to be a 2018 game, but looking at the scope and scale of it, I mean, you have free ranging segments. Yeah, that was like, well, what can you do? can't do anything, but I'm still excited for it. But yeah, a little disappointed that it's there. But hey, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Eevee, and Smash is going to take up a lot of my time. So
Can we
I
talk
think Fire
about
Emblem is in spring, right? Fire
spring?
Emblem.
Yeah, spring 2019.
Starlink and Starfox? Dave,
Yes.
Yay!
did you play it?
Yeah, I played it.
Tell me.
It's really good game. I didn't get a chance to play as Fox though, but I played as the I have a video on my channel, but I played as the normal missions and everything. It's a really cool game. I think everyone should buy that game. It's really good.
Is it better than Star Fox? Is this the best Star Fox game that we've ever played?
That's gonna be
Without
hilarious.
Fox in it? Yes.
I'm just saying, like, no, because like everyone's asking about Star Fox. Like everything that I've seen from the game, your video that you did, Dave, it looks better than Star Fox.
Like Star Fox Zero. I mean, that's not super hard, right?
No, it looks better than Star Fox. Like all the Star Foxes.
What I really like about it is the pick up and play nature of it. You can go and just go in your ship. You can go anywhere you want. It's open world, and there's 7 worlds in the game, and you can go from space all the way down to the planet, basically through the atmosphere, all the way down to the bottom, and start doing your mission and blast away and everything, all the enemies, and go do your objective. And when you lose your ship, like you get. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question? Sorry to interrupt. Can I ask? Is there like RPG elements that they mix into there, like with the ships and like? Because I saw numbers popping out. So is that part of the like what you do too?
I'm not 100% sure if there is or not, but I think so. I think so, but it's hard to tell because I didn't get to play it for too long. But basically, I really like the mechanic of changing your ship out physically with the actual toy, because that is just really cool. I just like that idea, and having to change your weapons, on your ship itself. You can actually upgrade your weapons with toys, basically. And I know they have microtransactions for if you don't have the toys themselves, you can buy them that way. But I thought the game was really fun. You can just start just go and the game controls really well, and it looks really good. It has some frame rate issues, and on the version I played, but it's work in progress. I think they should be able to fix that.
Is it? Does it feel like their version of Skylanders, just with like ships and stuff?
I don't know. I think it's unique to itself. To be honest with you, I don't think it feels like Skylanders personally.
I mean, just the fact that they're selling like physical goods to then put into the game. Does it feel like they're gonna keep releasing toys and stuff over and over again?
They probably will. They probably will. I mean, they certainly look cool. The R-Ring looks cool and all that stuff. They even have the little min and everything you can get to the pilots. They have four different pilots, I believe. So yeah, it's a really cool game though, and it's really fun. So if you like Star Fox, if you like shooting games like that, I mean, you'll be right at home.
I had a feeling that I don't think they sell the R-Wing separate, but if they did, I think it might outsell the game itself. Like people just buy the R-Wing just to get the R-Wing,
That literally the only thing I pre-ordered from E3 was that starter kit that came with the Star Fox and shit. Like that was absolutely mind melting to me. And then looking at it, it looks sort of like a blend of like Star Fox with No Man's Sky, but it looks like a lot more action orientated. And I was just like I was interested in the game when they showed it last year. I was like, okay, this looks kind of cool. But then when they fucking throw in Star Fox, like, oh god, I gotta buy it.
And you can play the whole game in Star Fox too.
Yeah.
So wait, so just to be clear, so the only way you upgrade stuff is by actually buying more toys and putting them on there. There's not like an in-game upgrade system. I have to actually keep buying toys.
No, you can do it. You don't have to buy any toys. You can do it all in game. I believe it's going to be through microtransactions or some unlocks, obviously, but it's kind of not 100% clear still because we still like 4 months away from release. So I think you can get most of the stuff in game without having to purchase too much extra stuff in there. But those toys are cool. I don't know.
I mean, isn't that how Skylanders was? You had to keep buying the Skylanders to get new stuff.
But that's what killed that. A buddy of mine, he's a smaller YouTuber named Petronius. He's really obsessed with that whole genre, which I didn't even know is called Toys to Life. And he has all of them. He has all the Disney Infinity and all that. And he said that like the bubble just popped because they just kept expanding it. So as soon as I see something like this, which is like, it's a spaceship game that's super fun, but if you want to beat these new big baddies we just patched in, you got to go to your local Toys R Us and buy a new blaster. It's like, I don't want to do that.
I will give them credit because they just made the game way more interesting by putting Star Fox in there, because I'd be really curious to see how many people would actually be interested in the game like they are now without Star Fox.
It's especially because in
Mm.
there there's special Starfox only missions or something, right? Or there's missions where you
there
go
is.
to like Corneria or something. Oh yeah.
The Switch
Mm.
version is gonna sell the best. Like,
Oh yeah, by
Yeah,
far,
by far.
I mean, that game had zero hype. Now I'm at like 1% hype, and it's only for the Switch version.
Yeah, I think they're pushing the system really hard in the game too. It looks really good. So hopefully they fix some of the performance issues it has upon release. But yeah, it looks really good. You know, they're pushing it hard.
Yeah, we'll give them. Usually, I'll say we give them to the release date and everything,
Mhm.
because they might have shown you a build that they had ready like 6 months ago or something, or 4 months,
Yeah.
5 months ago or something. So we'll see. And Mario Party has online, kind
Well,
of.
one more thing about that game though, it controls kind of like Battlefront. So you move with your left analog stick and you turn with your right analog stick.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just throwing it out there.
Okay. All right. I was playing
some time to
Battlefront
get
actually because they made it really cheap, so I picked it up on the Xbox, and the flying in that game's just okay. I will say that. That's actually one of the instances where I wish I had like a joystick, like what I used to use for like X-wing TIE Fighter back in the day on the computer. But I mean, it's still all right. They definitely fixed a lot of stuff in that game, by the way, but I don't think people care. Then we had Mario Party has online. It kind of has online. They have it changed up so it's 5 mini games that you play, but it has full ranking system and everything. And I feel like that's probably that's the weird thing. It'd be cool if they had the option, but I thought about it more and more, and I'm like, how many people are going to get to have strangers stick around for 2 hours sometimes?
Well,
just for friend matches though, like just for like you can do friend matches with the boards. I can get it for not strangers or whatever, randoms, but like it would be cool if they can add it in. There's still nothing stops them from adding it in as DLC or something.
I'd be happy for him to add it in, but also I use what's the Nintendo 64 emulator that's good and has online? Morpheus, I think. I used to try and play Mario Party 3 through Morpheus, and everybody would quit. It was so annoying. Like towards the end, when one person would get ahead, everybody would quit, and it would crash the game.
That was my other thing, was that if you play with a bunch of strangers, sometimes the Mario Party becomes kind of clear who's going to win early on, and I understand they'd be like, I don't want to do this anymore, and they just quit out. I mean, we have a hard time with that in fighting games that last 2 to 3 minutes.
Rage quitting is the thing now. I mean, I watch rage quitting YouTube. Like, I watch people that's all they do is rage quit. So that's the thing.
Oh man. So Mario Party has online. It's pretty cool. This looks much better than Mario Party 9 and 10, which were terrible. So I'm looking forward to this because my favorite Mario Party was Mario Party 4, and this looks at least closer to that than we've had before. So where people are at least not in a car riding around together. I'll say that.
So weird. Like what? It's like destroying your own game and calling it an upgrade.
Yeah. I don't get it, but that's what they did. So the Nintendo conference. Any final thoughts on it, guys? Before we move on to Microsoft.
I mean, it was what it was. There was some good stuff, some stuff that I didn't personally like. I was a bit disappointed we didn't see any Metroid or anything like that. But it was okay.
It's like destroy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was hyped for Dragon Ball Fighters. The fact that that's getting in, so I'm gonna try to play competitively in that game. I'm gonna do my best. But yeah, I was really excited for Dragon Ball
Dave,
Fighters.
did you play that at E3?
Yeah, I played that just for a few minutes. Yeah,
okay.
it's good.
Okay, I got a question for you on that one, but go ahead, OJ.
Oh no, I'm done. That's
okay.
I was excited for Dragon Ball Fighters and
Dave,
Starlink and Fire Emblem, all that good stuff.
With your eyes, were you playing handheld or on TV?
On the TV. Yeah, I know what you're gonna ask.
Was it 60 frames per second?
Absolutely. 100%.
Oh, good for them. Good for them. Good for them.
And I couldn't tell the resolution, so we'll have to wait and see.
They get away with it, I think, with that art style because it's not like it's not super realistic. Obviously, they try to make it more like. I think they get away with it. I think they could make it 720p and get away with it because of that.
I don't think it matters. I had the game on PS4. It looks exactly the same. Visually, it runs exactly the same. Controls exactly the same. It's exactly the same.
Good for Arc System. Good for them, man. Good for them.
They have Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle on the Switch already, so yeah. I don't think.
Dragon Ball Fighters looks probably a little more demanding, I'd say, but man, good for them. That's good to hear. Although I did see what happened when I turned it down to like the super low settings on the PC. So
yeah, I mean there may be a little differences, but I couldn't tell honestly. Visually, I couldn't tell anything.
The only thing that I can tell, John, is the cars and some like the backgrounds. Like that's the thing that I can tell because I have the game on PC. So
Oh.
I played it on PC and max because it's a 2D fighting game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only thing that I could personally tell.
So you didn't play it in handheld mode though, Dave?
No.
Okay. That's also the one I'm gonna be
I
curious
didn't see
about.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be curious about that one too. I mean, of course it'll get all like analyzed and all that stuff. But if you said it looks good from like 6-7 feet away from the TV, something like that.
I think I was closer than that. It was
Wow.
like right in front of my face. It was just it looked good.
Good to
Putting
It
your
hear.
may
eyes
be
against the screen
720p, but that may just be for the E3 demo.
I need to see the pixels.
Yeah, the magnifying glass out.
I mean, I don't think you'll tell much of a difference on the
That's-
Switch.
that's
It's
good to
exactly
hear.
the same. It's a parody.
Somebody in the chat said it's 1080 60 docked and 720 60 in handheld.
Really? Wow.
That's what they said, but the E3 demo, I think it may be 720p just from my eyes, but I think maybe that's their goal to release it in that state.
Good
you
for
know?
them.
Yeah.
Dude, that's super impressive. That's good. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I don't know. I think it would just be pretty easy. In my opinion, it'd be pretty easy. I mean, they got Dragon Ball, what was it? Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. That's a full 3D game. They got that running at 60 frames and one-on-one matches, 900p, 60 frames per second. And that's a full 3D realized world. I would think they'd be able to get this in 1080p 60 or at least 900p 60 frames per second.
I'm just to hear 1080p is pretty cool though, because that's what the PS4 and Xbox One run at, right? They don't drop or anything. I think so. They're pretty solid.
But yeah, Nintendo fans, go reserve the game right now. It's exactly the same as the other versions. You won't be disappointed.
There was a lot of
Fantastic.
concern around frame rate and stuff, so that's good to hear that it's straightened out and it's good. That's good to hear. Very cool. Very cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, any other final thoughts? Are we good? We can move on to Microsoft.
I was gonna say, yeah, I wasn't like super excited by the conference, but like I said, going to E3, it's totally different. It's just like it's real upbeat. Everyone's happy. You have a great time. It's totally different than watching conferences, and judging them from what they show there. When you actually go to and play the games, it's just a totally different experience. It's great.
Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, it was a fun little conference. I can definitely see they don't take it as seriously as the other two companies because they of course do their directs throughout the year. But a lot of Smash. I like Smash, but I'm not over the top for it. But I think for Smash Bros fans, they were really excited. So, I'll wait for Metroid. I'll be when Metroid is shown like that. That'll be me as a Metroid fan enjoying it. So, when we get to that point, I assume next year.
Are we gonna see you flip out on stream, John?
Maybe I freaked out a bit when Metroid Prime 4 was shown, just the JPEG.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I got to see how it looks though, because I think that's a game that should be 60 frames as well. Just because the other, when I played Prime 1, that was one of the things that stuck with me was how fluid that game was on the GameCube. So we'll see. But yeah, I think next year. I don't even think we'll see it later this year. I think that's going to be next year. What I really hope is that's the case, and they dress up E3 for Metroid Prime. That would be awesome.
What I would hope.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Cool. So we had Microsoft. What were you guys' initial thoughts on Microsoft?
The biggest thing that really sticks with me is I thought it was really pretty ballsy of them to walk out on stage and say, yeah, that the next Xbox is almost done. That was pretty crazy move to basically put that piece on the table. Like, this is something I've been reporting on now for 6 months, but it's the fact that Microsoft wants to be first to have their new console on the shelves. So it was pretty gutsy, in my opinion, to come out and literally just put that basically the queen on the chessboard and be like, all right, what are you going to do?
You notice he said systems, though.
It is, but he in later interviews said that it sounds like they're making like the Xbox One
Tiered
S and
systems.
Xbox One X.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're trying to do those in parity now, of like make it where there will be like different versions of the Xbox 2 when it comes out.
Yeah, because I want the beefy one. I want the one that's going to do 4K 60 on my monitor. I'm not going to spend $300 on something.
So he did several interviews afterward, and it sounds like every version of it's going to be 1080p, 60 frames a second, but they're actually working on hardware that'll make it where it'll be like 100 frames a second. They want to try and make it where we finally get past like every single game will be 60 frames or better. Like instead of like having all the games that still come out today that are like 25 frames a second. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
That's interesting. I mean, I guess they'd have
to limit your eye can see though. Is 120 frames the limit the eye can see?
I mean, we have 240 hertz monitors.
Oh, okay.
I don't. My eyes can't see more than 60. In fact, I've tried to watch like the things that test your eyes beyond 60. Everything starts to actually.
Have you seen have you used like a 144 hertz monitor before?
No, I'm poor.
If you have, if you have that with G-Sync or FreeSync on, there is actually a noticeable difference. You can actually see it being pretty fluid. I mean, if you go to like a Best Buy, usually the Best Buy near me now actually has monitors. Even the Walmart, now I think about it, has monitors on display, and they have a G-Sync 4K. Or no, it's not a 4K. It's a G-Sync 1440p 140 hertz monitor is what they have. Because I think the 4K 144 hertz monitors are just now coming out, but they're like $1,000 or something.
Are they making a super enthusiast console or something? I mean, like what, $600 US?
Yeah, well, so from everything that I've been handed, the information I've been reporting on for 6 months is that they want to reveal it early in 2019, or maybe even by E3 of 2019, and then have it out either Christmas of 2019 or store shelves of early 2020. So maybe prices can. So a lot of the interviews that Phil Spencer did makes it sound like they want to use a lot of the hardware they already have, just better, but they want to really upgrade the all the chips that'll up frame rate. Basically, like frame rate is their big concern now. Like, okay, 1080p is easily possible. It's cheaply possible. Yeah. Let's put everything in there without bottlenecking it.
I mean, honestly, it's not a bad idea to put a console out for $300 that's straight 1080 60, and then you got the $600 one for me, and we're good on that. What were you saying, Dave?
Well, what I hope they do is make it the games run on Xbox One X at least, so at least you don't feel too guilty with your purchase or angry.
Here's the thing. First off, if they do multiple tiered SKUs at their first launch, that's a fucking terrible idea. Absolutely terrible. Well, all you're gonna do is confuse people. Let's face it, the average person who goes and buys a video game console is not super well informed. There's just a lot of people, I'm buying this for my kid, I'm buying this for my son, I'm buying this for my daughter. Even if you're buying it for yourself, you have to sit there and explain 3 different SKUs. The idiot stalker at Walmart's not going to know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
As far as Microsoft's conference goes, everyone loved it. And I didn't. And it's like, I don't understand what there was to love about it. They showed a lot of games. Awesome. That's what the Xbox needs. There's still nothing coming out in 2018 that's exclusive besides Forza Horizon 4.
Well, lots of indie stuff, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, most of the games that they showed were multi-platform games, either available on the PS4, and then they talked about things for 2019 like Halo and a new Gears, a new Halo, Crackdown 3. Once again, that's cool, but it's like, what are you doing?
But that's what everybody did. Sony showed a bunch of 2019 games, and all the trailers that were cool and coming out soon are actually multi-plat, like Resident Evil.
But Sony had a good year so far. They've had exclusives. They had God of War, Detroit Become Human. You got Spider-Man coming out. Nintendo has exclusives coming out this year. Smash Brothers, Pokemon. And it's just like Xbox is just like, Crackdown got delayed. Well, fuck it. We'll do it next year. And then now you're talking about...
I see what you're saying now. You're saying that it's not that the conference was bad. It's that the conference needed to have something to feed us now because they haven't had a meal in a while. I get what you're saying.
It's like, it really felt to me like almost like a Wii U situation with the drought. They have the benefit of third-party companies, and there's so many great third-party games. There's going to be so many, and something is going to fail because you cannot have Just Cause, Red Dead, Call of Duty, Battlefield. What the hell else is coming out? Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Battlefield, Call of Duty.
Battlefield, like there's so many third-party games that there's going to be at least 1 or 2 major.
No one wants. Really, not a lot of people want any part of that right now.
It's crazy to me, but yeah, like that was my biggest issue. Was like I was not worried about 2019 for the Xbox because I'm not in 2019, And then to come out and say, there's going to be new hardware. It's kind of like, man, like to them, in my opinion. Both of those conferences were pretty much on the same. Nintendo and Microsoft were on the same plateau for different reasons, but I left feeling the same way about it. I don't know. To me, Sony was the best conference, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, personally, for me, I thought Microsoft did the best job. That's just my opinion. And so far as their presentation was concerned, it was like just bam, 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 the game after game after game. That was an excellent job. And as far as their 2019 stuff, I think that's like their apology for the Xbox One fans. Like, they couldn't do it for 2018. Impossible. They just didn't have the games ready. So they bought 5 studios. Excellent.
Yeah.
And they're going to have games, lots of games for 2019. That's their apology. 2020, I think, is their extra apology with another console.
Microsoft just wants to start the next generation now. They're actually in actually surprisingly a decent position to start the next generation.
The thing about the five, I'll get this out of the way real quick. The thing about the 5 companies that they bought is 2 of them, one of them was the Forza company, one of them was the State of Decay 2 company, which I'm not really sure why you would buy them. Like the most impressive one was Ninja Theory, and really, I mean, aside from Hellblade, they haven't really done all that much. Like people got very excited for that, and they should be. But let's look at Microsoft's track record with buying companies.
Well, they also formed a brand new studio in Santa Monica. They're probably gonna start pulling people away from Naughty Dog now.
And so I found an interview later on where Phil Larry Herb, Major Nelson, in the same interview where he was joking about putting Master Chief in Smash, he actually specifically said that the reason they bought these studios is that they were bogged down by their own business. They spend so much time worrying about their own payroll and stuff like that. The point was to try and come in, be the big bad boss, and let these people just game. So the whole point of it was to basically, yes, they're going to produce exclusive content, but the point, in my opinion, from his interview, it makes it sound like they're trying to basically make it where they can all start working on Xbox 2 games, have everybody ready so that in like late next year, we're going to have like Xbox 2 with like 12 launch games. We'll see, but that's what I think they're doing.
Yeah,
I thought they did a good job of preparing for the future. That's kind of what they have to do. Xbox One is kind of a wash at this point. 2019.
Yeah, the word is apparently they picked up Playgrounds because they're working on Fable.
God, whoa.
Yeah. Playgrounds they're talented. They're very talented. Playground. I think that's the best studio Microsoft has.
I would say with Microsoft's press conference, I kind of feel what Sean's saying. I think this is what's called getting finessed, because they know they don't have anything for this year, and you came away with the same thing that you had, the same problems that they already had. They didn't fix it. In my opinion, they didn't fix much of it. They already had big third-party games. That wasn't a problem. They already had Resident Evil 7. They already had a lot of Japanese get Code Vein. There's a lot of cool stuff coming to the Xbox. The problem what people had was, where is the content for this year? That's what people were worried about. Where is the quality content? And they showed us nothing. They showed they literally paid to win E3 by showing exclusive trailers of multi-player games. Like Tales of Vesperia. Like, who's gonna buy that on the Xbox? Like, we all know it's gonna sell more on
I will say what's fascinating about this effect. This is very interesting. I have 3 people that I talk to, I guess IRL, that have been looking at games. One's brother-in-law, sister-in-law. Anyway, they believe, because of this conference, that Cyberpunk is only an Xbox game, and they went out and they both 2 of the 3 bought Xbox One X's 2 days ago.
But you can't you can't overcome the PlayStation, the huge amount of lead.
Oh no, they're not gonna. That's why I think they made a big deal about that. They wanted to get the next system announced,
and that's fine. But I'm just not gonna give them extra points for paying to reveal Tales of Vesperia. I'm not gonna give them extra points.
Yeah, that has Switch game written all over it.
They had a good look. I'm not trying to say they had a good conference. It was well paced. It was bam game after game. But when you continuously show multiplats and you paid for them because you get the world premiere, I'm not gonna say that you blew everyone out of the water when you just literally paid to finesse everyone and get the conference. They still have the same problem they had before E3. Which was, where's your first party games at?
I love the conference a lot, but I also think, like, I'm a really big Halo fan, and I'm probably one of the biggest Gears of War fans in the world. So the fact that they came out and showed, unfortunately, Gears Tactics, which I think looks like garbage, and Gears Pop, which is clearly garbage, but Gears 5 looks fantastic. So
Halo Infinite.
Even though I like Sony's the most, because I loved Sony, because before E3, remember the number one thing I was saying is I wanted long stage demos. That was my number one request, is come out and give us like super deep dive, extended, show me how that game will work minute to minute. And the fact that they did that 4 times over on stage definitely won my hype the most.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. You mean 3 times, right? What happened? Death Stranding doesn't count.
That was interesting. Yeah, well, I love that just because I'm such a Kojima whore. I'm like, yes, tell me about the rain that makes me.
I'm just kidding.
I think from looking at presentation, I think Xbox had the best presentation. But I see what you guys are saying about that. Yeah, because everyone else, I was like, what is going on here? Like every other conference, I said, what is going on here at some point in time.
I agree. The presentation was good. I just
have time.
You don't you don't blow everyone out of the water by showing stuff that's going to be on and saying, "Whoa, we went first. We got the world premiere. We went first." But they had Kingdom Hearts. Like, how many times was Kingdom Hearts shown? You know what I'm saying? Like they showed
It was weird that they showed it first, though. That was weird.
Well,
And I'm sorry, but Kingdom Hearts went from, oh, I don't really care about this, to the PlayStation conference. I was hyped as shit on it. The gameplay that they showed during the PlayStation conference was better than the Xbox and the Square Enix one combined.
Yeah, dude, I talked about it in one of my videos. That was weird. I bet Sony paid a lot of money
for it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to sit here. It's like who pays the most to have the best conference. I'm not going to give bonus points for paying for.
They're also paying film trailer people to cut these videos together. They're also paying developers to make the games. This is all being paid for. Like, I don't care if they paid for a trailer. Like, everything's being paid for. It's about how it comes together.
I gotta say that Sony trailer definitely sold me more on this game. I'm definitely getting it on the Xbox One X. I'm glad Sony showed me that.
Just prove everything. Look, you just proved everything I was saying right now.
Well, why would I get third-party games on anything but the Xbox One X?
It's a multi-plat. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
It's a multi-plat. People will buy it on one thing.
Well, I'm not buying any first-party games on Microsoft. I'm just downloading off Game Pass.
You're paying them for it.
I'm just
I'm not giving them. I like the presentation for Microsoft. I thought it was cool, but like too many world premiere and not enough. Okay, what's 2018? What's the game that am I going to get 2018?
My only problem, and I actually said it in my top, I did a video of top 5 best games and worst fails, and one of my fails was actually the fact that Microsoft gave us almost no gameplay. It was a bunch of cool trailers, and they flooded us with almost 2 hours of cool trailers, but nobody ever just walked out on stage with a controller in their hand and did something. That's something that
they played they had Forza Horizon 4. I think they had 8 people do that.
Yeah.
That was it, but even that I think was faked.
They did what you call it too, Dying Light, right?
Did they do Dying Light?
Yeah, they did Dying Light too, didn't they?
Yeah, they had somebody come out.
Yeah, the guy came out and did that. Yeah, I think they had. I honestly think they had more gameplay than everybody but Sony. I think
Sony, but I mean the fact that EA came out there, EA definitely did more because they had 20 minutes of a cell phone game, bro.
Yeah. I slept through 3/4 of that whole thing.
That was but they also did the Yarny presentation was really cool. That Yarny presentation was really long.
I do see some people in the chat saying things like games aren't just pulled out of anywhere, which is fine and dandy. But the fact remains that before Crackdown 3 was delayed, there was 3 games for the Xbox One in 2018: Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, and Crackdown 3. 2 of which are pretty much games as a service, online only games, and probably weren't going to light the world on fire. So it's not like I think, myself, OJ, and everyone else expected them to pull a game out of their ass. You would expect them to have something far enough along in development to where they could be like, okay, maybe we can put crunch time down on this and get this out this year. A surprise, work with a third-party company. Like that was the main thing. Something like Battletoads. I see people talking about Battletoads now. How long have we known about Battletoads? It's a 2.5D, hand-drawn platformer. Like, yeah, okay, the hand-drawn probably takes a good bit of time, but still, I feel like that could have been a nice game to sort of hurry up and get along. I don't know.
The game, they blew it by canceling Scalebound.
Yes. Why are we waiting until 2019 for Battletoads? That's what I want. Like, why isn't Battletoads why?
I think Ori should have come out this year. I'm surprised Ori's fallen to 2019.
Yeah, the fact that Ori's that's the weirdest one of all to me.
Everything's 2019, which is fine, but I mean, I think that you should have some 2018 game, at least more than Forza. But hey, that's my opinion. I still thought it was a good conference. I mean, I see people in the chat too. I don't think it was bad. I'm not trying to say they pulled it out of nowhere, but I mean, let's just be honest here. Just like everyone says, hey, Nintendo needs to they're missing this game, third party, which is true. Microsoft is definitely lacking, some first party content.
Yeah, I was surprised how many games got announced that weren't going to the Switch. That was actually a little jarring to me when I was seeing that.
No, I wasn't.
I said a long time ago that 2019 is probably when they start getting some big third-party stuff at E3, but it was still very odd to see a lot of that. Although Tales of Vesperia, that was a good one to go to it, obviously. But the weird one was Digital Devolver's game wasn't going to the Switch. That was a little odd when I saw that.
Which one?
Which game was that again?
The one that's it's been a meme for a while because it's a $300 Xbox game where you play as the president. And
Full Metal,
it's like Metal Wolf or something. I'm trying to remember what it was. Yeah, XD. I was like, that'd be perfect because it's just upscale visuals. I'm sure Digital Devolver is working on a budget, but I was like, that's weird. I thought that would have been a good one to bring over to the Switch.
Well, you seem to like it in your video when you clap so hard for it.
What?
Digital Revolver. Right?
Just because they had their currency was really funny. Their Bitcoin currency. That was good.
Yeah, what does it do? Nothing.
Yeah. They usually have the best like entertaining conference, but they don't really talk about a lot of games.
If you understand what's going on, but yeah.
I like that they brought out there like we're going to be doing the Devolver Digital box with all the best retro games. The guy's like, that's just a Dreamcast. And it's like, oh no, it's not. That's our special new box.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think Microsoft admitted they screwed up this year by saying we purchased 5 studios. That's basically them communicating, hey, we don't have really anything right now. We're working on it. Here's our promise for the future.
Ninja Theory was an interesting one. When I saw that, I was like, wow, okay, all right. Because I apparently they're going to keep their creative freedom, which is good. But that was an odd one. When I saw that, I was like, wow. I mean, I guess it's tough, if somebody comes knocking with that kind of a payday, it's tough to be like, nah, that's all right. We'll take our chances.
Of course they'll take it. That studio was. I mean, if you saw what they said, why they became part of Microsoft, that studio was in trouble. They needed it.
I always find it interesting. I got to talk to the guys who made Rocket League a couple weeks before launch, and they were talking about the fact that like they weren't sure their game was going to take off. They were really nervous at the time, and they were talking about the fact that they had almost no money. They were really their last 2 games did not sell at all, and they were basically just Rocket League then, but they just did not take off. And so Sony came in and said like, look, we'll pay you an undisclosed amount of millions of dollars to make it the free PlayStation Plus game, and you just basically coast on that for the first year. And they did that, and it happened to explode. It becomes this humongous esports thing, and they're like, oh man, like we wouldn't have Rocket League if PlayStation hadn't stepped in.
Okay. So we're a little split on Microsoft a bit. I think they had the best. Just like if you look at all the presentations from the Sony's weird 20-minute intermission to Nintendo maybe focusing a little too much on one game, I think they probably had the best bam presentation. But I get what you guys are saying. There's nothing for 2018 really, other than Forza. So if you don't like Forza, you're kind of like, oh okay, I guess I'll be third partying it this year. So why don't we talk about Sony then? What did you guys think of Sony's presentation?
Poorly paced.
9 out of 10.
Yes. Poorly paced. Resident Evil 2, Ghost of Tsushima. They sold me on The Last of Us.
Did you say shimmy? Did somebody say shimmy? No.
Ghost of Shimmy?
Did somebody say shimmy?
Ghost of Shenmue.
Because that's the official dance of PlayerEssence. Just letting you guys know. That's the only dance we allow in my village.
Man.
Okay, so.
That's good. Ghost of Shenmue. That's good.
Yeah, Ghost of
I think I have like literally 5 copies of Shenmue around me and a Shenmue demo disc.
That's outstanding. Oh, thank you. Somebody corrected me. It's Devolver Digital. Thank you.
Yeah, I think they screwed up their conference, to be honest. It was I don't know what was going on there.
It was like they showed it and then they were like, okay, well, this is the pre-show, and I'm like, motherfucker, it's 9:30. You're supposed to start at 9 o'clock. Like,
by the way,
that was Last of Us 2, the pre-show.
Yeah.
By the way, Sean, Will McConnell, I think, agrees with you. He said Microsoft was a 2019 show. Goes to show the Xbox One X is a waste of money if new Xbox is backwards compatible. The new Xbox probably will be backwards compatible, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you that now. So yeah, there you go. That was part of the joke I made. It's like the Xbox One X. Yeah. I don't know. You got to look at the third-party games that are coming out in the next year and figure out if those are worth playing in 4K or not.
So my thing is, absolutely loved Sony's conference. Definitely the best games of the show. Like the pacing was screwed up at the start, but once it started going, my favorite thing about it was that the demos were long as hell that they showed, and I love that they ended with Spider-Man, which we're going to be playing in like 90 days or whatever. Like that's about to come out, and they did like an incredibly crazy good, super deep dive, 15 minutes that explained the plot, the combat, and the web swinging. And then right after that, they did like a PlayStation Direct, basically, that showed another hour of it. So it's just like, man, they stacked that.
I did like Spider-Man. I thought Spider-Man was awesome. That, believe it or not, was probably my favorite game from the conference.
Resident Evil 2?
I'm getting that on the Xbox. Resident Evil. That was really cool, but I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to be there, so I was just waiting for it to pop up.
Still, to actually see it in action and be that, because there was the rumor that it was going to have a potential first-person perspective, sort of like Resident Evil 7, but it looks so damn good.
It looks amazing.
It might still have it. Maybe there's an option to enable first-person mode. We don't know.
Dude, so it blows my mind because I've literally beaten the original Resident Evil 2 like 70 times because I love it so much. I literally tried to set a world record in it. If you search on my channel, one of my first videos is
I remember you talking about that
speed run. Yeah, I'm that obsessed with Resident Evil 2, and my worry of this was that they wouldn't capture the scares right, and they did. Have you seen that image where if you shoot somebody in the brain, if it doesn't hit him directly in the brain, it actually doesn't kill him? So there's a shot where he walks up and there's a zombie cop and he blows off half of his head with a shotgun.
I saw that.
And the dude starts walking past him, and the zombie goes and grabs him, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And it's like, that's so good.
William says, "I think everyone did what they really needed to do for the future." It was a lot of 2019 at this E3. I will say that everybody talked 2019 at some point in time this E3.
They didn't show that game enough in the conference, Resident Evil 2, but afterwards, all that footage, that was fantastic.
There's a lot of gameplay footage for it.
I think, and I'm really sad because everybody was, the fact that I'm so jealous that I didn't get to go. They had a section of the actual police station built there, and you could actually walk through it, and it was full of zombies and stuff, physically built in the E3 Convention Center. And at the end of it, you got to play the demo. That's, oh my gosh, I was so jealous.
Yeah, I look at people trying to hype up likes in the chat. I told you it would happen, Sean.
I don't understand that. Just stop it.
See that right there, Sean? Fake news, man. Fake news. Look at the people in the chat.
I mean, the fact that there's over 1,300 people watching and only 300 likes. I mean, the ratio does not seem that balanced. But I mean, I do think that there should maybe be some more people.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button to tell Sean he's fake news.
That's good.
Atari's watching right now, just like crumbling up pieces of paper, mad in front of like a fireplace.
I actually thought Ghost of Tsushima was their best game.
That looked cool.
Personally, for me.
See, I actually played Way of the Samurai a lot on the PS2. I didn't play as much on the PS3. That game reminded me of a much better Way of the Samurai. Did you see that scene where they were fighting underneath the tree and the leaves were coming down and they were like moving the leaves around while they were moving? Oh, it looks so cool.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because we got a bunch of different announcements for like action games, like the Sekiro game from Software.
Yeah.
You compare the combat from that game to Ghost of Tsushima. That game, Sekiro, looks like it blows Ghost of Tsushima out of the way.
Really? You think so?
The combat.
No, but they're totally different. One is controlled like Dark Souls, and the other one, Ghosts, is controlled like Arkham.
I think as you were saying, because Shadows Die Twice seemed a lot faster, and you're kind of more.
Yeah.
The Ghost of Tsushima is much slower. Some people even said it looked a little clunky, kind of
type of combat. I was impressed with everything but the combat.
I will say, but as somebody who liked Way of the Samurai, that looked very similar to that combat. So I'm like on board with it.
I literally have studied books about samurai because I'm such a cheesy, cringy nerd. I have a bunch of training swords literally right here, and that's the thing is that your sword you can only swing it a certain amount of times before you're going to die. And so I really like the fact that there were so many times where they'd like wait for a strike. I think that's so cool.
I think I just think
Steel 3.
I actually, no. You know, Ghost to me was one of the more unoriginal games, but I still loved it because it combined, like I'm watching it, I'm like, oh look, Gears of the Last of Us, Assassin's Creed when he jumps down, Tenchu, Stealth Assassin, and I just saw all these different types of games. But I think that's why I ended up liking the game so much, because it looks like it blends little elements from so many different games and puts them into one.
Also, that was the cool thing. Did you hear afterward they were doing an interview and someone was talking about that demo, being like, that was such an impressive demo. And they said, oh yeah, by the way, that's a side quest. That was basically one full side quest. So if you want, it's basically cool. You go along and you'll meet side characters who are part of the main story and give you extra back. So that's why it was like a character he already knew trying to kill that person he was protecting. And so it's like, if you want, you can do that stuff and just ride off in a random direction in the field. Or if you want, you can just keep progressing the main story. It's like, so it does sound like it's actually more open world than I ever would have thought.
That's Sucker Punch doing that, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
They made Infamous. They're actually my favorite. So Infamous is my favorite. Like Infamous and God of War are my favorite Sony IPs. Well, not God of War anymore with the new one, but the old God of Wars, yeah. But like Infamous, that's my
Infamous
favorite.
is awesome.
So,
I like that game a lot. Yeah.
Infamous is my favorite Sony franchise. So I'm gonna buy it and play it no matter what. I just wasn't thrilled with the combat so far, but I mean, hopefully it grows on me, when I play.
Okay. What does everyone think about Spider-Man though?
It's the third year. Like I want to buy it. I don't care about the gameplay.
I was kind of on the same boat. I was like, I already know I'm buying this game. Looks cool.
33. They get 0. They get 2 points. 2 little points.
This is the second year they closed out E3 with it, though. I will say that. Third year we've seen it.
I just want to buy the game. I'm enough. I don't need to see any more of it. I want to buy it.
The game's basically finished. I saw it at E3. It's totally like done. It's right. It could come out right now.
They're right. That studio is right next to me, like to the point at which I've actually run into the CEO several times. And so, yeah, from what I've heard, like it's been done for a bit. It's one of the things where they definitely finished it, but they were supposed to wait for like God of War, and so God of War finishes, and now they're like, okay, now we can play our hand. So I think that's the reason we got all those crazy extra costumes thrown in at the last second. We're like, all right, we're gonna do Iron Spider from Avengers. Now we're gonna do the Spider-Man Noir who wears all black from the mystery.
I'm gonna be honest. I have a feeling this might outsell God of War.
I think so. Yeah. Well,
I'm starting to get that feeling.
Well, it's like a teen game, right?
Yeah, and it's got some major hype behind it.
And do you remember there was the rumor, I guess it was about 3 years ago, when they started like really building the team that was working on this hardcore, there were these leaks that Sony wants Spider-Man to be the new face of PlayStation.
That makes sense. It's theirs, why not?
Yeah, well, and that's why the going forward they want to just start having like all the advertising and just like churn out great Spider-Man games. And it's like, yeah, I'm on board for that.
Because it directly affects their movie business too, because they're advertising on both sides, so they're gonna make more money. I really do think that I think the marketing is going to be heavy. Like I think starting in like July, August, we're going to start seeing a lot of YouTube advertisements for Spider-Man and in store and commercials probably. And I do think they're going to shoot that to be their most popular IP for sales wise.
And it's going to be, I guarantee it's going to be a pack in real soon. I bet about 6 months after it comes out, it's going to be like every single, it's going to be like Uncharted was there for a while, of like every single PS4, Slim, Pro, or Normal comes with one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That was honestly, of their showcase, that was the game I was like, this is it. This is the one I want. Also, all the other games are 2019, so that didn't help much anyway. We assumed 2019. I say that because of Death Stranding. So this game, I still have no idea what the game is, to be honest.
Nobody does.
I still have no idea.
I feel like I have a very good grasp on it personally. After watching that trailer about 80 times,
elaborate. Give me
the baby knows.
So here's my theory, and you guys can definitely jot this down and laugh at me if it turns out not true. But I think that after some weird apocalypse happened, there ends up being two classifications of people. The people who die but cannot stay dead and come back to life, because they specifically talk about the fact that you die. In interviews, Kojima said that there will be times where you die, but you come right back to the same map and you didn't respawn. You just walked through death and came back. And then we see the other thing, which are those weird ghost people who are like they have umbilical cords. So I think the other people die but can't go to the afterlife. And so it's the people who are stuck in the in-between limbo are trying to kill the eternal people. And if they get you, maybe that's what actually does it.
But that's fine and all, but what do you do in the game?
You deliver packages. You avoid getting rained on. You cry a lot. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of crying buttons.
So what is the baby? Does the baby help them with like sonar so they can see these people? Is that the idea?
I've seen different theories about that, and I think the main thing is that certain people have certain abilities to either see the ghosts, not see the ghosts, respawn, not respawn, and I think that maybe people get weird ass babies that let them get powers temporarily.
What's really funny is YouTuber watch Young Yes said that he actually met with Kojima accidentally, and he asked him about it, and apparently Sony was actually pretty nervous about him showing a trailer that still explains nothing. So they are really banking on him. Like,
what is the deal with keeping everything so secret? Why not show just a little bit of gameplay, like here you'll be ducking and shooting or tackling or doing something?
Because that's not how Kojima works. Have you watched the interviews? At one point, he described this game as a bunch of people. This is a real description he used. You can look up the interview. He described it as a bunch of people tied to mattresses with sticks, and they're able to knock each other over, and the last person standing wins. And it's like, what the hell does that mean?
It's a battle royale game.
Yeah, that's what when people first heard it, people were like, battle royale with sticks.
I think at this point I'm getting a little bit too old for Kojima's BS at this point. Like I'm very impatient with the way that he's describing this, and I don't feel like trying to decipher this. So I'll let guys like you do it. I'm staying away from this game until I understand. Maybe forever. Like
my question is
too much for me.
Is it coming out next year, or is that a 2020 game?
That's a PS5 game.
No, I think it's 2019. But the reason I'm so interested in this is because it's the first Kojima game where he literally has infinite budget, infinite time, and whatever. Like Sony clearly just lets him go, whereas Konami kept a lid on him and they got mad at him all the time. Whereas now they're just like, oh, you want to just make a 15-minute trailer of a guy walking around and pulling off his toenails? Sure, we'll put that on screen.
Oh, man.
See,
that looks painful.
That's what worries me about the game, though.
Yeah.
I sort of equate it to like if you remember like the WWF Attitude Era, which was it was arguably the most successful era of wrestling. Was, you know, you had Vince McMahon at the top, and you had a guy named Vince Russo as the writer, who was writing all the things, but they still had to filter through Vince McMahon as to whether they would go on air or not. And then once Vince Russo got left, he went to WCW, had free reign, and everyone realized, holy shit, this dude's batshit crazy. Why are we doing this? And I almost feel like, because when you look at like the original, you know, Metal Gear games and the Metal Gear Solid games, they were so good. And it's like, you know, they had that perfect balance of both sort of realism and then crazy over the top storytelling.
Crazy.
But I'm worried that he might be getting too much free reign with this game. And like, I don't know. It's just a concern.
My last thing before we move on is the reason I think he's being so secretive is from day one, I've been saying I think this is going to be a horror game. I 1,000,000% think this is going to be a horror game. And I think he's waiting to tip his hand on that. I think he's trying to keep his cards close to his chest and making it show mostly right now the calmer moments. And I think the last push of advertising is going to actually show more of fighting the monsters, more of trying to hide, and more of what that weird in-between place that is when he dies. Like the fact that trailer ended with that chick being like, isn't the world a beautiful place? And she's eating maggots. Like, I think that's more emphasizing the final horror thing we're going to see from it.
I really hope it's just not a dream or something, the whole game, you know?
The final thing is just going to be, because, you know, Kojima puts himself in a lot of his own games. I think Kojima's definitely showing up in this.
At the end of the game, you're in his office. Okay, the game's done.
Yeah.
So somebody on the IGN desk at one point said that the final trailer is going to come out and credits are going to roll, and people are going to go, "What happened?" He goes, "The trailers are the game," and then he's just going to sink into a coffin right away. Like, what happened? What?
And then Jeff Keighley is going to be crying. No, don't leave me.
We need this.
Jeff Keighley gives the trailer the Game of the Year award.
Yeah, he would.
To my best friend, Kojima. I love you. Come out here on stage.
Did I say he's my best friend? Did I tell you that?
Did I say? We've never actually had an extended conversation, but he's my best friend.
I can't speak Japanese, and we don't know what each other is saying, but you know, we're buddies. We're the best.
We shared lots of Mountain Dew together.
They watch movies together. They watch movies together, but it's like, yeah, I watch movies with people I hate sometimes. It doesn't mean we're really friends.
Oh man. So Last of Us 2, thoughts on Last of Us 2?
That's my game of the year, or that was my trailer of the show.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
Do you think that trailer? Do you think it's real? Did you see that's one of the big things that's getting thrown around is people are like, I don't know about this.
No, yeah, it's real.
Are you talking about the gameplay aspect?
The facial animation, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm 1,000,000%. So I rewatched it about 6 times. My roommate, he does a lot of technical stuff for the military, and he just came home. And when he watched it, I showed it to him on like slow-mo. We both analyzed it. I definitely think it's completely real. I definitely think that the combat is. I think they've refined it in a lot of ways. I don't think we're going to see too many zombies. I think we may not see zombies at all in this game.
It's going to be interesting, yeah.
The combat is so built around dodging and crafting. I don't think that we're going to see zombies in the same way in this game.
You know that thing's getting analyzed, you know, like crazy when that comes out to see if everything's real.
Yeah, right.
The cutscene probably was probably real time in the cutscene, because the way the lips when they kissed wasn't, you know, it seemed kind of
where it's off a bit,
well,
yeah.
Well, I saw the making of, and it's because literally they physically couldn't touch, like with all the balls in their face, they couldn't do it. So they had to do the mocap weird in that.
That was the best. That was the best part. That was the best part. That was the best part of the. I don't like The Last of Us, but now I do like The Last of Us.
Well,
I'm very interested in playing.
The first game's DLC is when they like reveal that she's lesbian. They reveal it in the DLC. The first game, people are mad about that. Though.
OJ, did you play the first one, OJ?
DLC. What's up?
Did you play the first one, Last of Us?
I did. I don't like it, but I did. I did play it.
I would say it's the remaster's $10 right now on Sony Shop.
When I bought my PS4, it came with the last.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I played it. I mean, I can see that it's a good game. I just personally don't like it, but I do like this new one. I will play it for reasons. I will.
She's the only playable character, right?
That's what they said. That's what they said. They might be holding out.
I still find it weird that we didn't see Joel.
Yeah, where's Joel? What happened to him?
Man, I'm starting to think some of those fan theories.
I am gonna be playing through it again, the remastered. Because I only played it on the PS3 back in 2013. So I actually bought it on the PS3 for $10. I'm actually gonna play back through it before the next one comes out. It's been like 5 years.
I wasn't a huge fan of the original. Like, I thought it was a really good game, but I did not think it was like a 10 out of 10 that like everyone had said. Just because it was, I don't know, it felt like my favorite part of The Last of Us was the intro. Like when everyone's like running and like everything's in a panic and stuff, and then it just like slowed down so much, and the puzzles were just like, have a crate, have a dumpster, have a ladder. Okay, you did it.
But it was about the talk. I thought that's literally my third favorite game of all time. I absolutely love it. But I also understand. I like the fact that it shifted back and forth between like crazy humans and crazy monsters and different kinds of monsters. Man, I thought it was so brilliantly paced. And the ending, I straight up cried my eyes out at the ending. I love it so much.
Yeah, most people who play that game, it's the story that grabs them so hard.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay.
Neo 2 was also shown. Did you guys? That went by pretty quick, didn't it? I was like,
no gameplay. There was no real gameplay.
Yeah, that was really fast.
They definitely showed the tiniest bit. I really like it. Looks like they're going to be expanding the power-up modes just because we saw the dude do the double horn fire attack thing. So I was like, okay, it's just more Neo. I'm fine with that. I gave Neo, when I reviewed it, I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. I loved it.
Control. They also showed Control, which seems to be, it's done by Remedy, right? Remedy's doing that. So it looked, it almost looked like it was like a, I guess, a Quantum Break type thing when I was watching it.
Quantum Break, which makes me more interested in it.
Dude, I mean, it seems so Alan Wake-ish, man. And they did a couple of interviews afterward, and they talked about the fact that it takes place in somebody's brain or something. The whole thing is supposed to be like basically sort of Inception-y. It sounds so cool. I want to play it so bad.
And that's a multiplat, right?
Oh, you're talking about that fake ass Quantum Break game?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I was like, me and Wood were watching the Sony thing together because thanks for screwing up our streaming YouTube. We were watching it on Twitch, and Wood was like, "Is this Quantum Break?" I was like, "I think it's Quantum Break," and it was like, "No, it's not." And it's like, "Oh, okay."
It's the same people, so
yeah.
It's very Alan Wake, Quantum Break, Max Payne.
It seems more Alan Wakey to me, especially the DLC for Alan Wake, where they try and make everything sort of realistic in its own like horrifying way, but then in the DLC of Alan Wake, they really just start like, because he just goes insane, literally insane in the DLC, and so he starts flipping through reality more. It looked like they really just kind of leaned hard into that, and I loved it.
I did miss Devil May Cry 5 actually when we talked about the Xbox when somebody just brought that up, and I know OJ was probably really excited for that when he saw that.
Yeah, it looked cool. Nero looked stupid. But
he got a haircut, man. He stopped off for a haircut.
Nero looked like Ninja, but I mean, outside of that, everything was good. No shots for Ninja, by the way. Good Fortnite player.
It looked a little more in tune with what you probably wanted out of like Devil May Cry that came out recently.
Yeah. I think it's still going to be good. I mean, they have the right people on the team, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Devil May Cry. It's a franchise that I've always liked. Bayonetta has obviously surpassed it, but I'm still looking forward to seeing what they do with this one because I think this will probably come out before Bayonetta. So
yeah, we don't even know. We didn't. Bayonetta 3, I guess sometime next
the
year.
Best Devil May Cry ever.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough because Devil May Cry 4 is really good. Like Devil May Cry 4 is super good.
Do you like 4 more than 3?
Yeah, I like 4 more than 3. Yes.
Okay. I didn't like 4, and I know I'm the only one. I didn't like 4, because I think it's because I liked 3 a lot, but 3 also kind of burned me out. 3 was so hard for me to beat that when I beat it, I was kind of like, I'm pretty done on this. And so I think when I started 4, I just wasn't in the mode.
Did you have the special edition 3 or the regular one? Because OJ explained this to me last time.
Yeah, which one did you have? Do you have the special edition or the regular?
So yeah, I definitely beat it. He was talking about how normal is hard and hard is normal. So I definitely accidentally beat it on hard.
There you go.
That was such a great experience, but also one of the things where when I was done, I was like, and I'm done forever.
It was very fun. No, there was a lot of people that kind of like said, screw Devil May Cry, because it was, the hard mode is way too hard. It's like an American very hard mode. You know what I'm saying? Like the hard mode in Devil May Cry 3 is very, very difficult. Like even for like really good players, it's very hard. So
okay, cool. Any other thoughts on Sony before we move on? No. Okay.
No, just the I didn't like the whole pacing. That's the only thing.
They put people in like a church they built, and then they had that intermission to move people to the next like building.
Yeah, you can't pull out a panel during your like they pulled out literally a 3 panel and talked about, hey, we're getting God of War New Game Plus. Like, what? They're talking like it's a pan like afterwards. I was like, no, this pacing's horrible. But the games were good.
I will die on the hill that I don't think that was the plan. Like, I know they're trying to pretend like, oh yeah, we're still. I genuinely think that something broke during the conference because there's no way that somebody would plan that on purpose. It was too weird, you know.
Yeah, I mean I agree. But I'm just going off of what I saw. But yeah, I agree. It definitely seems like a Miyamoto. Like, oh, my Wiimote doesn't work anymore.
Yeah,
it works in the game though.
The Wii Music one. People always do somebody did a side by side of them going to the trail, like going to the desk and looking really bored. And someone did when we did the Wii Music demonstration. It's like, oh god,
the Ravi roll, dude. Yeah,
like,
man,
we know this is not going to sell. We're screwed.
The funny thing is it sold. That's the funny thing.
I've never seen
it sold like
copy.
6 million copies, dude.
Oh man, that's
It was on
crazy.
Wii.
Couple questions from some people here. The first question is: Have any of you seen a release date for Dragon Ball Fighters, or an idea when it will be released? I assume they're talking about the Switch version, obviously.
I haven't seen.
All we know is
But it looks like-
2018.
It looks like it's done. You know, I played it. It looks like it's finished.
They're probably
Could come
looking
out
for a window
anytime.
or a time to release it that makes sense for.
I'm guessing because My Hero, that's another Bandai Namco fighting game, that's coming out October. So I'm guessing it's going to be November. I'm guessing November.
November makes sense. They could fit it in there, I think, in November. They'd have to do it, I guess, a couple weeks at least before Smash comes out.
Or Pokemon.
Pokemon, they gotta. Oh man, that's tough. Yeah, they'd have to do at least like a week before Pokemon, I assume.
Yeah.
They probably want to get out before Pokemon. I don't know why you'd want to get out after Pokemon.
They either have to put it in July, August, or November. They gotta skip in September. And
They gotta
October.
skip. Yeah, they gotta skip October. Like they can't release My Hero and Dragon Ball in the same month.
I don't know. Would it be ready by September? You think? Maybe.
What, Dragon Ball Fighters?
Yeah. You think it'd be
It
ready?
seems
by
like it's
September?
done.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean,
It looks done to me.
I guess they'd have time to announce it and then give it a couple months to build up, I guess, any marketing they can before releasing. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, either way, we're looking, obviously, 2018 at some point. Although I honestly am a little surprised Smash felt it was coming out in December. That was a little interesting to see that. I guess it couldn't come out in November, so it either had to be September, October, or December. But I mean, nothing's in December, so it's easy for them. They'll clean up either way. How much did it sell on the Wii U? Was it almost 6 million copies, or it was 6 million copies?
We don't have the digital number, but it does seem like the last time Nintendo reported on it's around 6 million. But the 3DS version's like 10 million. So.
Oh, geez,
God
yeah.
dang.
Yeah,
Wow.
this one's gonna move some numbers. This one's gonna be insane. That's gonna be a fun media create to see, or even MPD, I guess, for rankings. And the other one is, what are your thoughts on impressions on Shining Residence? I guess refrain, I think. Yeah, looks interesting, but being released at a stacked time. There's actually a demo you can go play right now. I actually played all the way through it.
Is it on Switch or
Yes.
is it,
It's on
Wow,
Switch. Yep.
how did I miss that?
Yep.
Is it good?
It's fun. It's good. It's a good game. I was wondering what happened to it back in 2008 when I was in college. You know, college OJ was coming back, and I was watching it, like watching Hard News and Screw Attack and all that back then in the day, and game trailers. And we were seeing the game, and then it just disappeared.
Yeah,
So-
it's good. I actually like the combat more than I thought I would. You don't ever level up in the demo. At least I didn't, because I wanted to see what stats, are there any points you put here and there. But there is some interesting stuff about that game so far that took place towards the end of the demo. It's weird because I would be spoiling the demo. I know it's weird because it's demo, but it's maybe half an hour long.
Okay, I'll download that after this.
But it's kind of it controls kind of like a Tales game, sort of, kind of. I mean, it's an action RPG.
This is off topic, but everybody's been tweeting me like crazy. I haven't done it yet, but everyone's saying the Octopath demo is like 3 hours. The new Octopath demo.
Oh, I've been playing that.
and
Yeah,
all that
Good.
carries over. I haven't. I'm so busy on
Ooh.
the East 8 review for Tuesday.
Evan
It's good.
already finished and uploaded his, man. He's on it.
I gotta do mine.
He played both versions of the game though. He played PC and Switch and compared them in the video. So, yep. Yeah, Evan will share all his thoughts on Tuesday when that comes out. Yeah, Octopath is awesome, by the way. If you haven't played it, go download it. You might as well, because basically it's the first 3 hours of the game you get to play. You get to pick, whoever you want that's available, and you go. I've started as the thief, and it's awesome because I go around, and part of it is the thief can actually walk up to somebody. You hit Y, and you actually can look at what the person has, and you can pickpocket them. So I was going around, I had to look for a letter, and I was pickpocketing everyone because he was 100% on everybody. That was pretty cool. I was having fun with that. And I was like, whatever happens if I pick this person? Now I'm wondering if I sign in with another account, if I can go check someone else out. Because you get 3 hours and it times you. So I have to double check that. But everything carries over, like you said, Max. So it's pretty awesome. 3 hours and it just goes right into the next one. So because I'm already getting it, obviously I'm buying it. So buying.
Was there any info on Smash Ultimate online? Was there anything? I didn't see much of anything.
There was no. I think For Glory is going to come back. We know that For Glory is going to come back and For Fun, but we don't know any.
That's something else. I guess they're holding off. I mean, they've said a couple times they're going to show us more. So I guess we'll see about that. I guess whatever they want to tell us in another direct. I mean, how many directs do you guys think we'll have the rest of this year? 1 or 2? Two.
Small one and a big one.
Cool. That'll work for me.
We should be getting a Smash Direct, I imagine. Completely.
Oh yeah, just like how we got with ARMS and stuff like that, right? Splatoon, just to focus on it and be like, this is what we're doing, and then here's a new character, buy it next month or something like that, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, why not? There's still a lot to show with that game, especially if they still have to show possibly single player and online, and then Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
That was good.
Kiro Tengetsu says, still miffed that Konami didn't bring out Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. Yeah, they brought out an awesome sports collection for everybody to enjoy.
Are they idiots?
Is that what that was?
Yeah,
Okay.
Hyper Sports R looks like trash, and I wanted a Twin Snakes port for the Switch. Konami massively dropped the ball. I feel like whenever they can figure out how to attach a pachinko add-on to the Switch, then they'll do something Metal Gear related, but I can't believe they missed out big time on that. To bring it to the PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch, that's easy money.
I had a bunch of people sending me all those weird rumors about the supposed Metal Gear Solid Zero, and I read all that stuff, and it sounded pretty legit, and so the fact that I don't think that game is actually real, but I bet behind closed doors they are experimenting with what the next Metal Gear Solid will be.
I don't want to know what Konami's doing behind closed doors. They're probably just like beating employees and stuff. That's crazy over there. That place is crazy.
Did you? Well, there were those reports that at one point they were doing actual psychological torture, like locking random doors, shutting off lights, setting off fire alarms to mess with them. But then at one point,
Konami?
Yeah,
wow.
Konami,
apparently they're really bad. Like this is all alleged, but yeah, apparently not very good. Like they locked Kojima in like a room by himself for like ever.
Yeah, well, and then so I saw somebody. It was really great. Someone was like, "I can't believe that they're putting Snake in Smash. It's such a dishonor to his name." And I saw someone screenshot of that comment and posted a tweet that was like Snake's not dead. Like Konami doesn't know what to do with him, but we don't have to like have a funeral for him. He can still be in Smash. Like it's not. He didn't get shot in the head.
Will McConnell said he'd love to see us play Mario Party online. I'll probably do that at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna apparently play Paladins and stuff like that too.
Yeah, we gotta play some Paladins.
So that'll be fun.
I haven't played a second of it. I haven't even watched the trailer.
That's
so you
good. That's even better. Even better.
Because you're gonna trash me. Is it a versus or co-op?
No, if you've played Overwatch, you've
played Paladins.
Basically. Okay, yeah, I put a lot. I think I put.
Then you'll just pick a character that has the same type of weapon or whatever, because they all have like the people with the knives, the guy with the sword. I mean, they literally have like the same thing. And then I think it has more characters. So and then
yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It has a lot. I think it has like a lot more characters than Overwatch at this point.
Yeah. Overwatch has like 25 now or something crazy.
Yeah, this one has like 30 something.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go in there and get one good character like RGT, and then yell at people who play him.
I've seen you play games, Dreamcast. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
you'll be fine.
Okay, good.
You'll be in good shape. Yeah. So other conferences. Anyone want to talk about anything from those? No real direction in this. Just anything from like Square. Or...
Session from.
Oh gosh, you're bringing that up, man.
What is wrong with Session?
Have you played it yet?
No,
it's garbage.
It's not very good.
No.
Go! I did, Sean. I did a whole video. I did a video on this thing a year ago because they had the Kickstarter. There's a whole demo you can play on your PC. But go watch my video. It's like 8 minutes long. But I try to explain the controls. Dude, the controls are not good when they put that out. It's very, very difficult.
Just emulate skates controls.
No, nothing like that. You use the shoulder buttons, I think, to ollie. And it's like one controls. I think it's the right foot. Your right stick controls the right foot. The left stick controls the left foot. So to do an ollie, you hold down, you flick it, and then you move the left stick up to move your foot up to do that.
Sounds like the hokey pokey. Turn yourself around.
Dude, it is like a whole like if you're not like putting 100 hours in that game, you're not gonna learn how to ride a skateboard. It's gonna take you 20 hours probably to learn everything in the skateboard.
I do have one game that was announced at E3 that we didn't talk about.
Sean's sad now. Just go watch my video. I explained the controls in the first like 2 minutes.
Right.
It was like you're gonna like start throwing up or something listening to that though. It's not very good, dude. Yeah. Sorry. That's why when I saw it, I was like, Skate 4. Oh.
I was really blown away, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do believe that Assassin's Creed Odyssey looks fantastic, and I never thought I'd say that ever again. I'm so dead on that series.
That was like good.
The biggest thing to me is the fact that in their super long, because they did like 40 minutes of gameplay after their initial conference, and one of the things they showed is you can customize buttons and skills now, which is one of the biggest things that was kind of holding it back. Was like they originally designed it on what they called the puppeteer system, and that worked well for a while, but the whole like main hand offhand combat started to get so rigid. So for this, it looks like you equip like special abilities, and each ability is for like a different weapon and stuff. It's like, oh man, this is what that needed. Like screw it, make it a video game. Let's make it a fun video game.
So you're looking forward to Assassin's Creed Odyssey then?
Yeah.
Hey, even though you thought Origins got kind of boring.
I actually strongly disliked Origins, and I know I'm the only one, but my
I got bored of it too.
You're not the only one.
Yeah,
You're not the only one. There's tons of people that dislike that game.
No, but I'm saying millions, like literally tens of millions of people loved it. It's overwhelmingly positive response. So we're definitely in the vast minority here. But I feel like this is correcting a lot of my last problems with that. I also think the branching dialogues is pretty cool. And the fact that I can bang dudes as a dude is actually a big plus for me. I'm going to suck a bunch of dicks. It's going to be great.
Oh,
speaking of that, what about that pirate game?
What was that?
I'm not with you there, man. But you do you, man. Let's go.
Well, OJ, you were trying to break something up before. What were you trying to say, man?
Oh yeah, I finally played the. Sorry, it was a stupid thing that I was about to say. I finally played the Skyrim on my Alexa device. So.
Oh, did you really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on the Echo Dot. Yes, and it is Skyrim.
What? Really?
Your voice. Yeah, it's Skyrim, but with your voice. So I played
That's
it.
insane.
I played it for about a good 15 minutes, and I was leveling up. I was going through places. It's literally Skyrim, voice commanded Skyrim.
We were all laughing at that, and they were actually showing us like the next system.
All you have to do is go to your Amazon, go and type in Skyrim for Alexa, and then say, if you have anything hooked up, it'll be through your Amazon account. You just press enable, and any Alexa device, yes, your refrigerator, whatever, if you have it hooked in with Alexa, anything that has Alexa in it, you can play Skyrim on it now.
That's insane.
I played it, and I leveled up. I was doing magic. I was walking through. It was telling me choices. It was, and I even had like when you level up the little, like the little noise. It had all of that.
Wow, they went really far for a joke. Oh my gosh.
They went ridiculously far for a joke. You level up, you go through, like you have this. It's pretty funny that they went that far.
Wolverale 12 says Game Explain has found 84 stages so far in Ultimate. 3DS had 42. The Wii U had 55. I'd be surprised if we didn't get all of the stages for Ultimate.
I think we're gonna get all the stages and more.
Oh wow.
We're gonna get more. I think there's some characters that they're gonna reveal. Then we're gonna have some stages from those.
Jeez,
characters.
that is a fat $60 game then, man. That is packed.
It's the ultimate version.
Wow. I'm telling you, this seems like a swan song. It really does. Like if you keep looking at this, like for Sakurai.
Good.
Just keep updating the game and releasing it again in the next few
I mean,
years.
you could probably. I mean, honestly, yeah, they could probably do that. I'm sure there are going to be patches and stuff they have to do. So do we get to the point where like the competitive communities, like Smash Bros. Ultimate 1.08 or something like that? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I guess they can just keep porting it to the next system. Essentially,
I personally feel that they have enough with the I mean, they can change the mechanics and things, but everything that they've added to this game so far, they have enough, in my opinion, to just leave it as a platform like an Overwatch. I think there's enough.
That makes sense. Yeah, they'll resell it on the next system anyway, right? Like the next Switch, they'll be like, oh, here's Smash Ultimate's coming out now. You can go buy it again.
Maybe they make a new game, maybe they don't. I'm not really sure, but I do feel, I mean, they have enough. I think they'll make a new game. I think Sakurai at some point, but I think it's going to be a very long time from this point. I think the Wii U really forced their hand with this, to get that, to make something different. But I think the Switch has a good future in front of it. So, yeah.
I did see a question that I also have in the chat. Mr. Max, Dreamcastguy, the 24-hour stream.
Yeah, I've replied to that several times, and the same guy keeps repeating the question. It's going to be Wednesday. I'm going to do my 24-hour stream Wednesday starting at noon Central Time, and it's going to go till Thursday Central Time.
Oh, man.
I think I'm going to stream, now that I have it set up so that I can just stream the Switch itself, I'm going to do that. So I'm thinking I'll start with maybe some Skyrim or Fortnite and then just switch around through different games. And yeah, I'm going to be 24 hours live.
With the proper links, right, in the description.
I'll have to set that. We'll have to talk. I may need to just Skype you or Discord you directly, OJ, so you can explain. Because I don't know. I went to the Streamlabs. I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know what I'm not giving YouTube 30% of whatever I'm going to give you. Just do that right. So
it's Max, you can set all that up, man. For your you can do all that, man. It's not the worst thing in the world, honestly, to do it. There's a lot of tutorials, and if you get the Streamlabs OBS, it's a lot easier. Yeah, it's a lot easier.
I'll help you out, Max.
You can make it happen. Yeah, you might as well.
Some more Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if you get on like Paladins and stuff, and I'm around, I'll jump on. Or you want to do some Fortnite? I'll pretend like I like the game.
Well, I wanted to do so. I mean, I did that Fortnite with fans the other day. Was a freaking blast. I mean, because like pulling people in, it was like having 3 bodyguard assassins who just kept throwing down the best guns. We were just mowing folks down. Nice. So I think for at least a couple hours, I just want to do Fortnite and just keep grabbing people from chat. That's a cool idea.
That's a cool idea. Callaway says, thanks for the stream. Love watching Saturday Night SpawnCast. Thanks for joining us. And then hoping for Pyra and Rex as DLC characters. That's Koro Tenketsu again. I assume that's for Smash.
They could be in the normal. They could be in the regular game. They haven't said that's all. They haven't announced all the characters yet, so you don't have to hope for DLC yet.
Xenoblade. I mean, that seems like that would match up perfectly with Smash based on everything. So. That'd be cool. To see that. You think it'd just be Rex with Pyra as his blade?
They would need. I would think they would make it Rex and then Pyra and Mithra and someone else. I thought they would make it to where there'd be like 3, like the Pokemon.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's a good idea. Even True Dog, there you go. Max says playing Fortnite on Switch and watching the stream.
Hell yeah.
I have a feeling a lot of people are doing that. Apparently Sean had to. This person said Fortnite had me up late last night from. Nice row. That's like Sean, man. He has to get pulled away from that game to make a video.
It was luckily Atari pissed me off enough to do something.
Dude, oh man.
I did a Fortnite video earlier today. I was like, "Yep, just gonna play Fortnite all day."
Oh man,
all that shit happened. I got a question for you guys though. Any guesses as to panic buttons?
That was the next thing we were talking about before we close out. Yeah, panic buttons. Interesting.
I personally believe that it's going to be that Fallout Anniversary leaks. I think that we're going to see Fallout 3 Anniversary, and I think that they're going to come out and basically say that it's done. I think they're going to be like, "Hey, it's revealed, and we've been working on it for a while."
I would cry.
Yeah,
I would cry too.
I know you would, Sean. Just because you
Fallout 3.
really want that on there.
I love that game. But yeah, I mean, panic buttons awesome. So I'm very curious to see what game it's gonna be.
Maybe it can be like a Dishonored too. I threw that around.
Dude,
that's a good one.
Think of that, dude. I'm a big Dishonored guy, man. That would be crazy.
That's a good one, yeah.
The first Dishonored, that'd be good. Like that game still holds up today. Like if
they could probably even grab Dishonored 2, maybe a collection. I don't know.
And do all 3 of them. Do Dishonored 1, 2, and then do Death the Outsider. Like I actually was replaying through Death the Outsider literally last week just for fun, and those games are so refined, man.
They're good. They're very good. I played it on PC back in the day. I played both of them actually on PC. They're both very good.
So are we pretty confident it's a Western game?
Oh yeah, I think so.
I mean, that's what they've done so far.
Yeah, I'm betting on their track history. I'm basing it on only track history.
Okay.
I don't know. It could be Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein Youngblood. It could be Grand Theft Auto 5. Who knows?
I keep hearing Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't know. I mean, Panic Button could do it, I'm sure, but I don't. That'd be interesting to see how they would handle that. I feel like Rockstar. I mean, who'd they get to do LA Noire?
Virtuos.
I wonder if they would go to Panic Button or they go back to Virtuos. I feel like Virtuos did a pretty good job with LA Noire.
But they're not Panic Button though.
Virtuos has done. Virtuos has done. They've done a pretty good job. They're doing. They did LA Noire, and they're also doing Starlink Battle for Alice. So they've done those 3. So
I still think Iron Galaxy did an awesome job with their Skyrim port.
Oh yeah.
So Iron Galaxy would be cool. They desperately want to do Monster Hunter World though, so I don't know. See about that. Kuritagetsu says, how would they feel if they ported Fatal Frame 1 or I guess Fatal Frame 2 is what that is.
I mean, I
really
love
that, man.
I love the Fatal Frame games, but I mean, Fallout 3 is
Yeah.
the peak of the series for me. So
the only reason I would want Fatal Frame 1 and 2 on there so bad is not only they're fantastic, but I definitely feel like the one thing that the Switch is lacking is more horror. I'm such a horror fan. I mean, personally, more than anything, I would love Evil Within 2 on there. I mean, Evil Within 2 is in my opinion probably one of the best modern horror games in any console, anything.
Dude,
so
it could be that.
It
could be Evil. Oh man,
I was
it could
about
be
to say
Evil Within 2.
that's another game.
Mikami said that he would like it to be
Ooh.
on, like he would like to work on the Switch. So maybe they do that.
I beat that
interesting.
game 5 times. I'm not even joking. I beat it 5 times. It's so good.
That'd be interesting to see it on the Switch. Wow, that'd be really cool. I don't know. Honestly, I feel like I would be most interested trying to see them put something like a Fallout 4 on the system. That'd be really interesting to see if they could do that. Just for the technical aspect of it, to see if they could make. Because man, I remember there's one point where the game even came out. I think it was Giant Bomb was playing it, and on the Xbox One, like the base one, it dropped to like 1 frame per second at one point.
Holy God.
I think something exploded on screen, and it was like, okay, it's like that. It was so funny.
Everyone's yelling at us because he wasn't talking about Fatal Frame 1 and 2. He's talking about Fallout 1 and 2.
Oh, you know what? It's because the person before said Fatal Frame. That's why I was like, okay. Yeah, because the person before was talking about Fatal Frame. Fallout, would anyone really want Fallout 1 or 2?
Well, the Wasteland is coming to the Switch, so maybe, we'll see how that does.
Daniel J says, now we got Resident Evil 2. Will we get a remake of Resident Evil 3? I mean, it took them forever to get Resident Evil 2 done at this point.
Be easy because Resident Evil 3 shares a lot of the same assets as Resident Evil 2.
Since it takes place in the same area at the same time. Yeah. The biggest thing, if anything, like I've said before, my favorite Resident Evil is probably in the series. I think one of the best is definitely Code Veronica, and I think it's the one that's forgotten a lot. Like Code Veronica was originally going to be Resident Evil 3 until the last second. So I'd love to see a remake of that, and I feel like it wouldn't take that much work.
Code Veronica's good. I like Code Veronica. My favorite's 4, but yeah, Code Veronica's pretty good.
I think everybody likes 4. I don't really know. I don't know anyone who doesn't like 4.
4 I like 4 and 5 are my favorites. Like I kind of I like those two the most. So.
I like 4 a lot, and I've beaten 4 a lot of times. But I guess it's that since I'm such a diehard fan of 1, 2, 3, it was really hard for me to like. As much as I love 4, it doesn't feel scary, and that's like the downside to me. It's like 4 is a masterpiece of a game, but it's just not scary.
Because Leon is so Leon is so equipped in that game, and then like even like Resident Evil 5, he's like Chris and Chev are even more equipped. Like they're even better than they were before. There used to be a Facebook fan page I followed called Chris Redfield's Bicep, and it was just a zoom in of his bicep, and he was just really like, "Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're gonna be talking about push-ups that maximize your." I was like, "Yeah," and he would just be like, "Not up to much, punching boulders."
Do you guys think that there's any chance that people are asking in the chat? Do you think there's any chance that Panic Button, if we could do something that's a Japanese-based game rather than Western?
I don't think so.
I mean, it sort of depends. It depends who, because you gotta figure every fucking company is like, hey, can you make our game?
Yeah,
can you put our game on?
That's what they were saying. Yeah, they were saying that. Yeah.
So I mean, it could, all because they've done 2 Bethesda games doesn't mean it's going to be a Bethesda game or even a Western game. I think we're all assuming it'll be a Western game because they've proven that they could take large scale games like Doom and Wolfenstein 2 and put very competent ports of them on the Nintendo Switch. So that's probably very appealing to Western developers, whereas a lot of Japanese based games, you know, it's not necessarily as hard.
Yeah, you're right. They kind of specialize in that now. See, they probably get more money trying to port something like that rather than try to port, like, I don't know, like the Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2 collection or something.
Right.
You know, they probably get more money for trying to port Fallout or something, just because it takes longer. Maybe their contract is higher for that.
Just bring over Final Fantasy 7. It could be the original version. I'll be happy.
Do we think it's a game that's already out, or do we think it's one coming out that they just happen to be part of the development for and they're working to port it?
I think it's an existing game. Panic Button's speciality seems to be a game that's finalized, has all of its patches, and then taking that and then just completely reconfiguring it for the Switch.
I see some people saying Nier also.
Like Dave said, I could see, like Dave was saying, I could see them possibly doing Doom Eternal on the Nintendo Switch. You know,
the same
near-
engine and everything. That's
Right.
what they worked on before, is what we think anyway. I guess not guaranteed. I don't know why they would shift engines in the middle of the
Right.
console cycle or anything right now. I mean, it works. They'll develop their next id tech for the next systems. But I mean, we just heard Nier people talk about that. What if they finessed us and Panic Button's going to reveal Nier coming over next month?
I mean, nuts, man.
That'd be funny.
They could do it, but it would just be, I guess, yeah. We'll see.
That'd be
We'll
funny.
see.
That'd be funny.
I hope they announce something. I hope they announce something. But
What if they have more than one game coming?
I hope they have a million fucking games coming.
every single game?
They're awesome.
I love them, but my only thing is I always want them to take their time, because remember, Platinum Games is amazing, but there was definitely that short time there for when everybody started knocking on Platinum's door, and we got like 3 bad Platinum games in a row. Like, everybody remembers that Ninja Turtle that was so bad, the Ninja Turtles game they actually removed from e-stores. It was so embarrassing.
But wasn't there a Transformers game too they did?
Yeah. And they just came out with those just bam, bam, bam. So I'm hoping that Panic Button keeps. I hope we keep just getting like one game a year.
Kiro Tengetsu even mentions, what if Panic Button is porting Spyro along with Toys for Bob?
That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, I don't think they would.
We don't want them to
need
waste
to.
it on. Yeah, I wouldn't want to waste the Panic Button work time on.
You want
Spyro,
the big hard to port game is what you want, right?
Yeah. You want like the Doom Eternal, or you want like the Fallout or Dishonored. You want something like that. You don't.
What about
want,
Diablo 3? What happened to that?
Yeah, Diablo. I
that
love
was supposed to be a next year. That was supposed to be a 2019. The rumors all say 2019 on that game.
Okay.
So,
Okay. That makes sense. So we're gonna finish up here now, guys. You want to go around and let everyone know where they can find you? Max, we'll start with you.
I'm at youtube.com/Dreamcastguy. I want to say a giant thank you. I feel like this podcast and everybody, all you hosts are so awesome. Y'all helped me reach 100,000. Thank you. I don't take your help for granted. You guys have helped me with great advice. The community has given me so much feedback. I would not be here today if it wasn't for the SpawnCast crew. So thank you.
And Red Bull. Lots of Red Bull.
Well, I'll be outside that huge box of Red Bull you sent me right here. Let me just.
Yes. Yeah. Well, make sure you get water and Red Bull, and we don't need to read about you on the news. So.
I know, right? Oh yeah, that was that dude in the world's a tank streamer who died during his 24-hour stream.
Take some breaks and just put up like a back in 15 minutes thing. I'm just walking around outside to stretch my legs.
Yeah.
Or using the bathroom, or I got to go eat. Or just be Sean and just eat on stream.
Changing my diaper.
Christina real quick says, can't wait for DOA 6, Devil May Cry 5, and Yakuza Kiwami and 0. That's correct. The PlayStation actually is getting Kiwami 2 this year, right? That's an exclusive for them.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh,
yes.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, very nice. Cool. And what about you, OJ? Where can they find you, man?
find me right here on YouTube, PlayerEssence. I do a lot of Japanese RPG gaming. All that good stuff. Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, all that stuff. Fire Emblem, love that stuff. The Damon Cosmic Inna game, I'm going to be covering that quite a bit. All sorts of stuff. So yeah, definitely check it out. Getting near 40K. So
nice.
I also feel that this has been a big help to that. So I put my channel in the chat. You guys want to hit me up, get me to 40K.
Go check him out, man.
Fantastic.
Go check him
Fantastic.
out. And then Dave, thanks for joining us tonight, man.
Yeah, no problem. SuperMetalDave64, discussion-based videos on the latest news, rumors, and tech in the gaming industry. Nintendo fan and of all things gaming. Come check me out.
You're calling out Capcom the other day, man. I saw that.
Oh yeah,
tell them to release that physical copy in Europe. Yeah. Then Sean, currently battling with Atari.
Yeah, you can find me on RGT85 anywhere pretty much on the internet right now. I am balls deep in an argument with Atari. They called me out. They called me fake news. They said I'm not a reputable person, so I had to put them in their place this afternoon. The video's doing very well, so I'm curious to see. I actually offered them an invitation to come live on my channel to talk to me about things, because obviously they have a lot of things to say about me to other people. They could say it to me, and we could discuss things. I will be at Too Many Games this upcoming weekend. It is Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Everyone is going to be there. Well, a lot of people are going to be there. It's an absolute blast. If you are in the area, make sure you come through. I will have t-shirts for sale. I will have a few copies of RGT85, the video game on NES, for sale. I have some games, personal games I'm selling from my collection. I have a panel at 3:30 on Saturday in panel room 2. Make sure you come by. I'm done talking.
I'll be there too.
Yes.
I think I will anyway. I don't know. I don't know if I'm big enough to be invited there.
Oh,
we'll see. I didn't get my tickets yet, man. Yeah, we'll be there. I'll be there, and Evan will be there. Evan will be filming and stuff, so it'll be a good time. It'll be fun. I think a lot of people are going. So that's gonna be cool.
There's a ton of people going.
It's gonna be really cool. I know Game Chasers are going, and Wood and Ant Dude and
Pat Contry.
Oh yeah, Pat's going. All right,
Pat,
very cool.
the NES.
Alex. Yeah, Alex C&D is gonna be there.
Oh, the guy with the big RV. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's drive that RV up there.
Yeah, man. Cool. All right, cool. That's it for this episode of SpawnCast. Thanks everyone joining us. We'll be back next Saturday night. That one may be pre-recorded though, because that's too many games night. So we might pre-record it a night or two before and just have it go live for you guys so you can just watch it on demand, because I don't want to take a chance and just not be back in time. And then of course Sean is going to have a whole thing going on too. I mean, Sean's probably going to be partying that night, so who knows about him. Yeah. So yeah, we're just probably going to pre-record it like a night or two before and just put that up for you guys so you can just watch it then. Okay. Just in case, I don't want to not get home in time and be able to do it. So cool. All right guys, thanks. We'll see you next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you guys then.